Oh, y'all know we had a crazy weekend. Y'all know how the NBA tends to get over the weekend. We had some teams lose. We had some teams blow leads. We had some good performances. But overall, we got a lot to talk about. 10-game winning streak for a team. Another team lost without somebody that's important to them. Oh, yeah, the Warriors. That's the title of the show. Jimmy Butler revived the Warriors dynasty, but they lost to the Sixers yesterday without him. But since they got him when he's played, they're 6-2. So y'all talk 6-2 or 6-1?
One, I think.
Yeah, they're 6-1. 6-1.
Go to Hurst.
6-1.
6-1.
6-1. So, Austin, I know the last time you were up here, I don't want to mix up your words. You said something about Jimmy and the Warriors and that being a match made in heaven.
I don't think I included anything about Jimmy yet.
You was just saying never count Steph Curry out.
And I think that was all before the trade deadline and the All-Star weekend.
Give Steph some help, and Steph will be what Steph was. Those are his exact words. Turns out help is on the way, and help is here.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at it, and I kind of looked at it like this, with the Warriors offense the last couple of years, who's the best screener and decision maker on that team besides Steph?
Draymond.
And he's been mainly the guy I look at that's been running the offense with Steph's off the ball. He's been the guy with the ball in his hands who's made a lot of decisions because he's one of the smartest guys on the floor, and Steve Kerr trusts him to make the smartest decisions. But now he's more in a role to where when Jimmy has the ball, Draymond's in a position where he's the best screener probably in the league, and then also a great passer off his screens and a great slasher and a great diver. So now he's in a position where he used to be at times when he had Andre Iguodala out there and Sean Livingston handling the ball, where he was being really effective off the ball. Where now he'll have even more an effect on games now than you may have seen in the past, just because he's going to be set more screens off the ball, slipping, diving, throwing lobs, throwing the corner passes for threes. I can see his assist numbers going up over the season.
Austin, what it sounds like is with the addition of Jimmy, the Warriors are who they were. That's what it sounds to me like. It sounds like everything that you're saying, Draymond is going to be what Draymond was. It sounds like Curry is going to be what Curry was. I think a lot of this is wishful thinking, considering Draymond is older. The fact that Steph Curry will be 37 this month. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can appreciate having a run. I think what you have to ask yourself with this crew, number one, adding Jimmy Butler, adding that 20 a game to this roster. Okay, now all the heat goes to Jimmy Butler because this is the missing piece, right? They have all the other stuff. Great rotation players. I think they're second in the league in bench points. I think they're in the top 10 in the league in defense. So now you add buckets. So you add buckets to this roster. And I believe Mars brought up a really good point, and I don't want to steal into your thunder, Mars, but Mars brought up a really good point when he said, can Steph Curry give me 6 weeks of 22 Steph Curry? Can he give me a month of Steph Curry? Can Jimmy Butler give me a Milwaukee series? Can he give me can he give me a Miami Heat against in the finals against the Lakers series? Can he do that for me over the course of the next 6 weeks? And oh man, I would tend to agree with this if it was younger Curry. I would definitely get on your. If this was 2 years ago, I would definitely get on your page with this. But I think that from what we have in the Western Conference with how young the Oklahoma City Thunder is, with Luka being the addition to the Lakers now, with what's going on with Denver and how good they are, even though they got some issues. But I feel like the Western Conference has gotten a lot younger, a lot better. And I think you asking Steph Curry to turn back the clock. And I think LeBron James has kind of screwed it up for a lot of people because not everybody is James.
For sure. I mean, LeBron definitely messed it up for everybody going forward and forward. But if you look at it now, I just see that now Steph's in a better role where he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy all the time getting double teams, exerting himself so much. Now when he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands, he can watch Jimmy for a couple possessions and go one-on-one and do his thing like he was in Miami. And the thing is, too, when he's in Miami, he was the one getting – primarily double teamed in the playoffs and things like that. He was the one getting a lot of the a double team looks off pick and roll and things like that. He's not going to get any of that when he's with the Warriors now. He's going to have more straight to the basket looks off the pick and roll. I think he'll just be able to do some of the main things he was doing in Miami. I don't necessarily know if they'll be able to get to NBA Finals, but I know they can. They're definitely not a team you want to see in the first round. For sure not.
Well, they're a game out the 6th spot. I mean, I'm sorry, they're tied for the 6th spot right now.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Clippers losing, and the Clippers are in the 6th spot, but I mean, it could end up with them in Denver in round 1. Do I like their chances against Denver? I mean, Joke has always been really good against Golden State. He just takes advantage of the mismatch that they have, and he would definitely score more. But to Ox's point, I think they're a dangerous team with Steph Curry.
Sure, for sure. And you see those flurries. Those flurries can come at any time, and it's just dangerous, especially in the playoffs. Especially in this playoffs.
I just don't think. I'm just trying to make sense of how, like, for him to get going the way he gets going, like to see what he did in Orlando. All right, like, how likely is that? That's what I'm talking about. But and the thing that I'm thinking about is how likely is that when we're getting deep into the playoffs and you're asking Steph Curry to shoulder a lot of the load. Now, I understand that Jimmy Butler is there, and I've seen Jimmy Butler get busy in the playoffs.
Top 10
but
player. A top 10 player doesn't.
Here's the thing, though, Austin. But for every Milwaukee series that Jimmy Butler has had, you know, he's given us great series. He hasn't given us a great playoff run, though. That's what I'm thinking about.
And he don't have to carry a series.
That's what it's gonna. But that's what it's gonna take in order to win it. It's not
Jimmy
gonna
to carry a series.
But yeah,
to carry a series.
Jimmy don't have to carry a series.
It's gonna be
100%. He's gonna have to do that, Ron. Yes, especially when we get late into the playoffs. Like for example, if they play against Denver, you think 19 a game is gonna be enough to beat Denver? You think 20 a game is gonna be enough to beat Denver from Curry? That's not enough.
So what if I was to tell you Murray's giving you 19 a game?
If Jamal Murray is giving you 19 a game?
Yeah.
Well,
are you going to say that's not enough?
What's Jamal? When does Jamal Murray average 19 a game in the playoffs?
When does Jimmy average 19 a game in the playoffs?
I think he averaged 21. I think he averaged 21. I think he averaged 20 the year that. I think he averaged 21 the year that they went to the finals when they played the Lakers. I think he averaged 21 a game in the finals.
The year they went to the finals.
Yeah, with
the finals
with that Miami Heat team. Yeah, he averaged 21 a game that year. Mm-hmm.
So, chill. The point I'm making is, like, Jimmy's obviously the second option.
Right.
What second option has to take over a series in order for them to win? Now, it helps, but what team in the NBA are you looking at? Their second option, like, if you don't take over a series, you're losing a series.
I think you asking Curry.
Dame.
Very true.
So Dame has to take. Well,
that was a great example.
But it's not gonna always be that way, though, Ron. It's not gonna always be that way. There might be times. There might be times when Steph's the second option where he's playing off ball and Jimmy's ISO and Jimmy might have the matchup and he's killing this series.
Sure.
Y'all act like that's just like. I don't understand how y'all act like Jimmy can't be the one going off and Steph is being the threat off ball.
He is. Either way. I can get with that.
Go either way.
I mean, I think even with Jimmy being there, Draymond's going to have bigger scoring nights because he's going to be the one diving off of these picks from Steph where they're going to be double teaming him. Guys are going to be missing misdirection and making mistakes.
We had some buckets to score. We had some Draymond to score.
This is going to be a lot of – no, I'm saying as far as you see the offense, how it's moving now,
mm-hmm.
What do you think teams are going to do now if Steph had 56? They started the game off with a drop. That's not what you're supposed to do. But they decided they were going to do it. And a couple of
but here's the thing with Curry.
Like you're going to have Jokic do a lot. And teams like that do a lot. You're going to have guys fish out of water a lot. When's the last time Jokic had to see Steph in a whole series? I don't know how long ago.
21. 21, 22.
22 first rounds, yeah.
Yeah, 22, something like that. Go? I think Joker
they lost in 5. They lost in 5.
No Murray, no
the Nuggets lost
no
in
Murray.
5. The Nuggets lost in 5.
Yeah, no Murray, no KP.
Championship?
Yeah.
Yes, that was a championship year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, don't forget, Joker was like 31-16 in that series. Some nonsense.
And lost in 5.
I think he'll get
and lost in 5. Yeah, lost in 5.
Busy, but I just don't. I mean, I don't know if those other pieces, the Denver pieces, are going to definitely align this year how they were before. Like, I mean, honestly, the Lakers. They look like a great team. There's a lot of good teams in the West. I mean, the West is the monster. The East is, the East is the East. The West is always going to be the monster.
What I don't want to discount, Austin. I don't want to discount who Steph Curry is and the fact that now he got Jimmy Butler, that they're more dangerous. I don't want to discount that. But I want to make sure we're clear on what's going on here. Why they got Jimmy Butler. The idea is to win it. They didn't get Jimmy Butler to make the playoffs. They got Jimmy Butler because this is the last stance right here with the Golden State Warriors. They're trying to win it.
I think also with Jimmy, I think that attracts something else that's could come in the next offseason or whatever it may be. But I think they got a good team. I don't necessarily think that they don't have a far off chance. It matters who they match up with.
Yeah.
Playoff matters. You know how matchups are. Matchups are how they are.
Everything. Sure.
You know how injuries are. Injuries happen in the playoffs. We've seen that too. So you don't know what can happen at any moment. But they're definitely a dangerous team. They're just more of a dangerous team. Steph having a good, very solid second option. And the second option, and it is a one-on-one player. When you got someone like that, Jimmy.
Who is more likely to take over a series? Mark, you brought up a really good point. Who is more likely to take over a series, Dame or Jimmy Butler?
More likely, probably Jimmy, just based on opportunity, I think.
He will have more. I think he'll have more freedom as far as playing alongside Giannis. He's going to get double teamed. But I think Jimmy will have a lot of freedom with that offense. I think you see him getting backdoor cut layups and things like that. Like he was getting a lot of those points out of the mud in Miami. He wasn't getting as many layups and things like that.
He wasn't getting those easy
looks. He gets to the free throw line a lot. That's something that the Warriors haven't had. A guy that can get to the free throw line at will and is a good decision maker. Jimmy Butler fits with that team very well. I just don't know if they're big enough, like you said, maybe inside to stop some of the
That's where I think the
that's
issue is.
But
I think that's where the issue is more than anything.
At the same time, too, we saw what Serbia had to deal with, too, at the end of that game. It wasn't like Jokic was out there playing a lot of pick-and-roll defense. He was very tired at the end of that game in the Olympics, and you're asking him to be stepping out in a lot of pick-and-rolls, and he's gonna be in a tough squeeze, too. It's not going to just be him getting 31 without exerting himself on defense.
All those bigs got to do too. Actually, we talked about this before. As soon as Jimmy got there, we talked about this. We talked about it when it was an option for Jimmy to get there. All those bigs got to do is rebound and just be big, be physical. And when Steph Curry has a competent second option in the playoff series, he's just as dangerous as Joker is. So that's
even more dangerous. Maybe even more dangerous.
Why I'm not saying they'll beat Denver, but I'm saying when you got and you know how serious I am about that how dangerous Steph Curry is, and he has a competent second option right now. So I'm not. You can't bet against Steph Curry. You cannot bet against the chef when he has pieces.
I can appreciate the logic of the long ball, and I understand how he can take over a series shooting the long ball. And I know how good Jimmy Butler is as a one-on-one player, whether it's in transition or it's just in isolation in the half court, and he could get going. I seen him get going against Milwaukee and Drew Holiday. I seen him get busy against these guys. The issue that I'm having is when you get to the playoffs, especially with a Golden State crew like this, I'm gonna need Steph Curry to be Steph Curry nightly. And I would love this if this was 2 years ago. I would love this if this was 3 years ago. I'm not sure if he can do it on a night-to-night basis at the age that he's at.
Chill. I just brought it up though. Like it's nights where Jimmy Butler can carry the load, and Steph Curry, we don't.
Jimmy long in the tooth too, Ron. Jimmy's long in the tooth too. Jimmy ain't no spring chicken neither.
Yeah, chill. I think you.
I get where you're
making the age too big of a deal. I think.
With Steph, there's one thing that was God gifted with LeBron. Like his body is God gifted.
Yeah,
we can all agree on that. Like he's just been able to withstand father time, and he's had a certain different type of fountain of youth. But
right,
like Father Steph's that wrist and that arm, that is father time too. Like he just hit 12 threes the other night. So it's just.
What did I say, Ron? 60? We were talking like when that was going on. I thought he'd go for 60.
And the thing is like, I'm not saying that he's going to be able to do that throughout the playoffs, but he's one person you just have to. He commands so much attention on the offensive end, to where it puts a lot of your players in such a bind to where even if he's not shooting the ball well, I've said this before, even if he's not shooting the ball well, you have to respect him so far out that your defense is extended so far out that puts you in such a bind. So regardless of the fact, it's just it's not a team you necessarily want to see in the first round. I'd much rather see a younger, maybe more athletic team, maybe than an older,
so if they
experienced team.
Again, if they ended up having to play Denver today, like the playoffs ended today, and they're tied with the Clippers, so they would have to see in the first round, they'd have to see the Lakers. How you like their chances against the Lakers?
Against the Lakers, yeah. It'd be tough, but I honestly think at the same time, I never will count out Steph, and especially with Steph with a good guy. Like, how many more games are there in the season? 30,
like
20
some, like 22. Yeah.
All right, so like I think with the time left in the season, I think they have enough time to even gel more than they are now. And I think
the Warriors have played 60.
I think we'll be able to really
60 games.
I think in
22
like
games
about 13 more games, we'll see what they're really about.
I wasn't sure.
10 to 12 more games.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even in the games they played, though, we've seen what we know that the Warriors are about. We've seen how seamless Jimmy Butler goes over there, went over there and hooped with them. We see like it was, and it's kind of what we thought. We got seasoned veterans who know how to play basketball. They're not just good players. They know they're smart basketball minds. You see how
Right.
Austin has said, Jimmy backdoor cutting, Jimmy making good passes, Jimmy playing competent defense. Him, Draymond, and Steph, they look like they've been playing with each other for the last 10 years. So, like, we see the chemistry there already.
Well, to Ox's point, it looks like it's just basketball. Like they just playing basketball. Like
they got a group of hoopers.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It doesn't really look like it's that difficult. I'm sorry.
It seemed like they want to play together too, though. Like, like Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, like that core three looked like they want to play together. But it's bigger than that, though, especially in the playoffs. Like there's a thing that happens sometimes in basketball when everybody's on the same page, where we just come together at the right time. If the Warriors are one of those teams that could put that together, I think that's what you were saying, Austin, about 13 more games and they kind of gelling, meshing, chill. You brought up chemistry. If they can find some time around, let's say, a perfect timing around game 3 of the series, the first series, right? You get that groove for a good bulk of games right there where everybody's just clicking together. That team is crazy when you got Buddy out there hitting, Steph hitting, Moses hitting, Jonathan Kuminga's getting out in transition, playing great defense, rebound, attack.
He hasn't even played with him
Jimmy,
yet.
Right. Jimmy's being an ISO demon. Steph is shooting. Draymond's clicking, making good passes, good reads, playing great defense. You got the big fellas rebounding, being big, protecting the rim.
Post.
And he can shoot the ball.
Picking and popping.
That's gonna make it difficult too, because you're bringing Jokic out even though he's not we'll see how he shoots the ball in his first playoff series. You know how that always goes. Like your first playoff series, right? How that really will shape you. Hopefully he hits a couple early and see how the rest of the series goes. But, I mean, if that were the case, if they were to match up. But, I mean, if you look at it, the Denver and them, yeah, I think it gives – you're going to give those points up with Jokic. That 30, he's going to get the 30 and 12.
Sure.
You're going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
But can they lock down? Can they really hold Michael Porter Jr. to the lower teens? Can they hold Jamal Murray under 21? Like, Can they really hold at that, and then they can really score off the bench? You said they're second in the league in scoring.
Their rotation plays. Yes.
How's Russ going to play in the playoffs with that team in his first year in the playoffs with them? You know what I'm saying too?
That's what I'm thinking about with that goal. Sure.
Those things come to play. I mean, it's not far off if I was a bad man to bet on the Warriors in that series.
I just know that when you get deep into not even deep into the play, when you get into the playoffs, I'm already counting on my main guys. I'm already counting on Curry, so I'm 86 in him. All right, I'm already counting on Jimmy Butler, so I'm 86 in him. The question that needs to be answered is these other guys that I have. So Moody, can I count on Buddy Hield to give me plus minutes? Can I count on Gary Payton? See Mars' face right there? There you go. See, because now what's going to happen is that my rotation gets shorter. And that means that the production that I'm expecting, that I was getting in the regular season, well, I'm not going to get that in the postseason. And now guys are going to play themselves out of the lineup, which means that the better guys like Curry, like Butler, they're going to have to do even more. Now, I know that I'm already getting more from them in the playoffs. But now when I got guys like Buddy Hield who are going to be a minus, who I count on him to be a long ball shooter, because that's what we do here. If I can't get that from him, that's going to be a huge deal for us. That's a huge deal for us.
Y'all say what y'all want to. I'm comfortable with Buddy shooting if I'm the Warriors. But Buddy, shoot us to Cancun if that's the case.
Shoot it till you break it, buddy.
All right, Buddy. We got Steph Curry out here. We got Jimmy Butler. We got Draymond Green. Buddy, shoot the ball.
I mean, they haven't
And we gonna live and die by it.
Right? They haven't had Kuminga lately, right?
Nah.
Yeah, they ain't had Kuminga for like a month.
You haven't had your most athletic guy slash the ball get catching lobs from Draymond off these pick and slips. I mean, it's just if they can get a good 12, 13 games in together and really gel, I think they're just a dangerous team. And you know, they got a lot of shooters out there, and they got their other main ISO guy, not KD, but a guy that can go get a basket one-on-one. You know, that they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
Hello, Swipa.
What's up, y'all?
I'm gonna ask you a question and I need an honest answer.
What's up?
I need take your biases, throw them somewhere, just put them next to you because I know you're gonna pick it back up and be biased in about 10 more minutes. But
you're gonna ask a question I've already answered probably, but go ahead.
How far do the Warriors go in the playoffs with Jimmy Butler?
Honestly, probably.
And let's actually say they don't see the Nuggets. Let's say they don't see the Nuggets.
Well, I think that'd be legitimately a horrible matchup for them, but I do think they are. I think yes. I mean, there are matchup advantages.
I think it's a bad matchup for the Nuggets, but that's not
the Nuggets. The Nuggets have not. And this is what I'm saying. This is why, if you asking me an objective question, I'm telling you, like the Nuggets have terrible matchups with teams like the Wolves. That would be a horrible matchup for the Nuggets. The Warriors, for several different reasons, would not be the worst matchup. I think the Warriors, if they don't face like the Nuggets early or something like that, maybe like they obviously would never see the Mavericks. I mean, I don't really know how the Lakers and them would go, honestly, just because the Warriors, if they do try to pack the paint, then I don't really know how that would work for them. They obviously wouldn't try to deploy the same strategy, but I think they could make the Western Conference Finals. I'm saying they could if things fell their way. But then also they would have to hit shots. Jimmy would obviously have to be like on playoff Jimmy mode. Steph Curry would have to be able to consistently be giving you like a legitimate like 27 on good efficiency. Yeah, I think those are probably the best matchups in all.
All right, and then a follow-up question for everybody. So obviously this isn't just a one-year thing. Jimmy will be back next year. In Jimmy's tenure, let's say they don't get it done this year, but in these next 2 years, do you guys believe that the Warriors have an actual opportunity to win a ring?
Not as currently constructed.
No, OKC getting better. Lakers, Mavericks.
I mean, you said
a year from now. Yeah, a year from now, everything's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah,
the Lakers are going to have a real center next year. Like,
the Rockets. You know what I mean? Teams are getting better, right?
Kevin Durant's going to be traded within the West, probably. Like,
so you don't think the Warriors can get better?
They could get Kevin Durant. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
No, they can't get Kevin Durant. No, they can't.
Don't forget Wemby
because they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to have Kevin Durant at the trade
year
deadline.
3 Wemby.
KD said he didn't want to be traded mid-season.
KD was the one who passed on Golden State. He was good.
Yeah, he didn't want to get traded mid-season.
At the time,
he didn't want to be traded. He did.
Yeah, I hope he does.
I bet you if that was Houston, he would have welcomed them with open arms. Give me a break.
Jimmy
don't want to play.
I mean, I think
Jimmy, KD, and Steph. The old man 3.
Oh my God!
With Draymond. So that
and Draymond, the old man.
The 4 Musketeers.
You sign and trade Kuminga.
The 4 Musketeers that are closer to your age than Mars's age.
Yes,
we have to see Kuminga. Kuminga is going to be one of the third option scoring wise, and he's not a bad third option.
Who?
Second option? Didn't know Kuminga.
Now imagine you just trade him for Kevin Durant, then you even better. That's the plan.
That's what I'm saying. He's out. If I'm trading him in a heartbeat, respectfully, but he's a good player.
For Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Is that all you're gonna have to give up? Because Kuminga's still on his rook deal, which means
but he's eligible for extension. So
I don't even know if they could make. I don't even know if they can make the trade without giving up Jimmy or Draymond though. So I don't even. You know what I mean? Like they would have to find a way to finagle the books. Because you got to think, if Draymond's making 25, Butler's making 60, Steph is making 60. Like that's already probably 80% of the cap, maybe if not 75 or something like that. And then so you would have to fangle the rest of the players on your roster, and that cumulative would just probably kill you. You would probably lose like so many depth pieces at that point.
Austin,
and old men need depth on the roster. Go ahead, Joe.
Austin, the reason they put this crew together with adding Jimmy Butler, he is the difference. He's the secondary scorer that they didn't have, that now they have. He's the one that's going to push them over the top. And this thing is a 1-year deal. I know they ended up signing Jimmy Butler to, I think, a 3-year deal, 2 years guaranteed. I think it's a player, a team up after the.
I think it's 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Right. So this deal for this year, this year. This team is going to look dramatically different after this year if they don't win it. And again, I'm thinking about their rotation players and how good they are in terms of bucket getters when you're talking about just straight scoring. But you played in the NBA. You know how much different the playoffs are. When the playoffs come, this is you. We get to focus specifically on you. And everything that you don't know how to do, we're going to highlight it. The fact that Buddy Hield, he doesn't like to shoot coming up. He doesn't like to shoot the long ball on the right corner as opposed to the left corner. We're gonna force him to play that way. Buddy Hield doesn't like to play defense. Gary Payton Jr., he picks up full court. We can foul bait him. We can get him off the court. It's things like that teams are going to focus on primarily. And now what we're going to make Steph Curry do is we're going to make Steph Curry be the primary focus, which he already is, but we're going to make him be the primary focus to have to score all the points because we already know that you're a long ball shooting, jump shooting team. All right, so we're going to push Jimmy Butler out to the long ball line. We're going to make him shoot more buckets. We're going to make him shoot more shots at the long ball line. Stuff like that are the things in the scouting report that's going to make it difficult for the Warriors, especially when they run up on teams like the Denver Nuggets, right? Like the Lakers, teams like that.
Yeah.
By the way, Ron, their contracts laid out for next year. They have 3 players making over 25. No one making after 10, except Moses Moody, and then you got Buddy Hield at 9 next year, and so they would have to make some magic, which maybe they could.
So the Warriors just lost the Philadelphia 76ers this past weekend.
Sure did.
Albeit no Jimmy Butler, but I want to give you guys an interesting stat from that game. With Steph Curry on the floor, yeah, they were plus 12. With them off the floor, yes, you guessed it, they were a negative. But do you guys know how much negative they were?
Negative
that game?
I'll say negative 5.
That one game?
Yeah.
Oh.
You muted, Mars.
Assuming, because we could just do some logical deduction. If they were plus 12 with Steph and they lost the game by 7, minus 19. There you go.
Minus 19 without Steph on the floor.
Oh, is that a big deal?
Well, yes. You tell me. You always telling me about the non-Jokic minutes.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's
couldn't stabilize.
Welcome to the Serbian world. I don't know what to tell you.
So yeah, I bring that up to say this team does still have flaws. But
their bench is nice though. Like I like their rotation. Like they're really solid now with Jimmy Butler.
Is that the way that works though? I mean, I got a C+ in algebra and I did well in geometry, but okay, they were minus what 17 with 19 with him off the floor.
Yes.
I mean they did lose with him on the floor though. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was off the floor and a lot of that stuff ended up accumulating, but when he got back on the floor, I mean, it's not like he got on the floor at the end of the game and they lost. No, he was on the floor when they were losing.
How many minutes did he play?
37, 38. I think.
Yikes. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so they were lost by 20 in like 10 minutes.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you the impact of Jimmy Butler. You go 8-1 with Jimmy Butler, and then you lose to the Sixers.
And for the record, Ron, I worked my ass off to get that.
9.
And for the record, Ron, I worked my ass off to get that C+ in algebra. I did.
Y'all know how that is. But all right, y'all. I got one more question regarding the Warriors and the Lakers. I'm on a poll right now, and I asked the people, what was the better addition at trade deadline, Luka or Jimmy? And before y'all jump out your seats, I know we're not comparing players. We're comparing fits for the team.
I think it was a surprising fit with the Lakers now that LeBron's playing a little bit more off ball as time's going on. Then like you haven't really seen him in that role really ever. So now that he has a really good decision maker with Luka, I mean, what do you have? What do you have the other night? Like 28, 10, and like 3 assists.
Last night I think he was for 29 and 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Luka?
Oh, Luka? Yeah.
I think
Bron was trolling
Stinky.
trying to get to 50,000. He had like 17.
Yeah,
But
Luka
It's
had
still
29, 9, and 6, and he shot 9 of 17.
Bron is just
It was a
playing
good
really well. I think that team is just really dangerous. I mean, it's really just. I mean, the big man as far as like their 5-man, how are they going to hold up? I think that's just how everyone's looking at it. I don't think it's the guard play. I think Austin Reeves being a third option is really good. He's really been playing like at a high level this year. I think with Luka, I mean, Luka's just now finding his like rhythm playing with Bron. It's a different role. You know, he's looking at a guy that he looked up to as well. He's playing on the court with. So
I think it's buckets.
I think it was going to take him some time a little bit, but I mean, I really figured it out, and they're really on a good stride right now. So, I mean, they're super dangerous. They have 2 of the top guys on the floor, and then they can switch off, and you're going to have guys making great decisions, even when one of them's on the court. So, I mean, it's not going to be a high turnover team. You know, they're going to be really, really dangerous team in the playoffs.
But here's the difference, though, Austin. When you're talking about like the better player, like did the Lakers really need Luka as opposed to what the Warriors needed, which is what buckets is, a secondary scorer, a guy who can take some of the pressure off Curry to get buckets, as opposed to,
I mean,
with the Lakers. Don't get me wrong. I think that Luka is a better player. I won't argue. That's not what I'm arguing. And the addition of Luka will help anybody. But with Steph Curry getting Jimmy Butler, this was a team that was out of the playoffs. This is a team that was not even in the mix. You add 20 a game to a team that's desperate for a secondary scorer. I mean, I think that helps tremendously for them.
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly think that the more valuable piece, obviously, like you said, they weren't a playoff team before Jimmy was there. I think Jimmy is the more valuable piece to that team, but as far as like they have a chance to win the finals, I think the Lakers have a very good chance to get to the finals and have a very good chance to maybe potentially win the finals. Just really depends on their matchups, how the bigs play, how well they go. Like, and if that can happen, you know, you'll never know. Because I mean, people would say like, yeah, they run into a young Cavs team, you know, like a really good young Cavs team in the finals. You know what those matchups could bring, like, what's his name from the Cavs, the 4-man.
Donovan Mitchell, Mobley.
Mobley's playing great this year. You know, but if you look at it, Mobley hasn't seen and had to guard a guy like Bron, and Bron switches in place of the 4, and he's guarding him. I can really see Bron causing him some problems defensively.
Sure.
And just being a smaller guy, being up under him. You know, I mean, the Lakers really look dangerous just in a different kind of way than I've really ever seen Bron on a team with somebody before. It's just it's different, and I like it.
Yeah, I knew they were going to be good, but they look a little better than I'd even expected them to.
I just like the fact that you got a bunch of different options when you're dealing with James and you're dealing with Luka. Like James doesn't have to be on the ball. James now becomes a 4-man who is picking and diving, picking and popping, and then he can be more of a playmaker playing on the ball. And Luka can play off the ball, but Luka is probably the most effective when he's on the ball and making plays for guys like James, making plays for guys like Austin Reeves and Rui. And they play a lot faster too. So like when the ball comes off the glass and Luka's getting a rebound, immediately guys are gone because they know Luka is looking for him up the floor. So I think Luka brings he brings a dynamic to them that they already had. So Ox, I'm basically saying I already got a Ferrari in the parking lot. I'm just getting another one. That's all.
Bron got a whole nother pep to his step again. He just got a whole nother level to him again.
Yeah.
It's scary to watch that.
Yeah, man. I guess if you just 1-for-1 swap a worse player, older player for a better player, younger player. I guess that's
one's playing and one's not swiping.
Well, one's worse than the other two. Luka's been incredible as of late.
Being a worse player being a worse player does not mean that it's not going to work.
No, it doesn't mean that's why. I think it might. I think they could.
It could.
They could. But we were all, some of us, very, very shocked because Luka is a different type of breed. Like he's been a different breed since he's been 16 years old, and so to get in that situation where, excuse me, Lakers fans, it's not a 1-for-1 swap. It's a Max Christie and Anthony Davis for said player.
Right.
And shout out Max Christie. I guess that's not a throw into them. So he matters to them, and I think he's a good player. But Luka is worth the most you could ever offer for a player relative to NBA history. He would be the most valuable player. Like, he's incredible, and he does a lot of things really well.
And I'm not saying you're doing this, Swipe, even though you are doing this, Swipe. I'm just saying, like, I wish that AD was healthy, because when the Mavericks mess around and don't make the playoffs or get knocked out early or something, everybody's gonna be like, "See, they lost."
Told you.
Like, but not
AD's gonna be back though.
Yeah, he will be back.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if the injuries in Dallas, stall them out, they're gonna and that's just not what happened, because I think we all can agree that if AD, and that is an issue, you know what I'm saying? So this is no asterisk, because AD isn't he's hurt. So you know what I'm saying? That's a part of basketball. But if he wasn't hurt, I do believe, and we'll see when he comes back, because to your point, he will be back around. But we're just gonna pretend like, oh, see what happened? He's better than AD, and it's like this. It's not equal.
Well, Ox, I don't really know who else up here. I don't know who else up here believes that Anthony Davis is better than Luka, except for you.
That's not what he's saying.
Well, I know. Hold on. He believes that. He believes that in his bones. I think what I've said consistently, that the Mavericks with AD and the new roster construction, they could go to the finals this year. I think they're that good. But I'm also saying that, like, this year and going forward, Luka is just a clearly better, more impactful player than Anthony Davis is. But I've been consistent on this for like years now, so I'm not going to change my tune as Luka gets older.
Even the way that roster's built, the way that they put that team together, with having Lively healthy, with having Gafford healthy, with having Davis healthy, with having Najee Marshall, with
better team or better player. What are you asking?
What I'm asking you is the way that roster is built, and the addition to Anthony Davis to that crew, as opposed to what Luka is. So now we got a different dynamic. I'm not arguing that Luka is the better player. I think Luka is the better player than Anthony Davis. I won't argue that. But with the addition to Anthony Davis to that roster, is it not feasible for me to think that this team can make some real noise? Because we got a glimpse of it when Anthony Davis was on the roster and he was healthy. We got a glimpse of what they could look like with Irv and Klay Thompson. We got a glimpse of what they could be.
Is there anybody that doesn't believe that the Mavericks are a scary playoff team at full health?
I think they could win the Western Conference. I do. If they were at full health, I think they could win the Western Conference. Yes, I do think that.
I'm almost positive that they're going to be in the play-in. I'm almost positive that they're going to win 2 games in the play-in. So with that being said, it's looking like they're going to be a 7th or 8th seed.
Well, Ron, it's really hard, because you know what I'm saying. It's like when you go from 2 to 5 in the West, they're all real compact. From 6 to 10, they're separated by half a game, bro. From 6 to 10. And
how much, Ox? Wait, what you said?
Half a game from the.
So I could be in the playoffs. I can go from being in the playoffs to being out the playoffs.
Yeah, you could be in the playoffs. You could be in the 10th seed where you have to win 2 back-to-back.
That's happening
that's
right
crazy.
now.
Half a game. That's crazy. 7
half a game. Last Tuesday I was in the playoffs. This Tuesday I gotta go now. I gotta go to Minnesota, and now I gotta go to Golden State.
Well, chill. There's a 4-game gap between 10 and 11. Shit. So like they're all in. It's just it's juggling for position basically.
It's just in this, but it's you. So Swipe is right. From 2 to 10. I mean, with 2, really, that's why I put in 2 groups, because 2 to 5 is a game and a half. 2 to 5 is a game and a half. Houston's 12 games behind, and the Lakers are 10 and a half. So they're 1.5 games behind the Lakers. Houston is, and then Dallas is half a game behind the Clippers, and they're the 10 and 6. Those 2 groups are separate but jam packed right there.
Wow.
It's I'm not ready. I mean, because they still have 20, 24, 25 games. The Suns are 4 games behind the Mavericks. So I don't really think
It's over for the Suns. It's over.
So it's very possible because there's enough games left to play. So I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna write
It's
them
possible, but goddamn.
No, it's over.
I'm just talking about what's possible. I'm not talking about
if it's possible for Phoenix, it's possible for Portland.
We can say that too. I'm down for that, Morris. You know,
How disappointing.
I want to be fair to everybody when possible.
Ron sound like that. Ron sound like the dude in the car dealership. It's possible I can make this car payment, but damn, yo, you killing me right now.
Hey, you better not take that car payment.
You killing me right now.
Your wife gonna leave your ass if you take that car payment, boy.
It's possible I could do it, but
you
damn,
you gonna lose your wife, the house, the kids, everything. And the cat gonna go too. But hey, so usually around this time of the year, everybody's like they're just off of the NBA and they just waiting for the playoffs. I want you guys, the chat, the viewers, buckle your seatbelts up because this next 20 to 25 games is going to be life-changing for the NBA. This is going to shape the playoffs. This is where everything's going to get made right here. So I'm excited for this, and I think you guys should be excited too because even in the East, it's a lot going on in the East too. And before we get into all of that, shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers because they are on a 10-game winning streak. They're the first team to win 50 games, and they beat the Boston Celtics on Friday. Thoughts on the Cavs?
The Cavs look Cavs look good.
They look like a contender.
The floor is probably the first round. The ceiling Eastern Conference Final. But DeAndre Hunter still just for nothing too, like for nothing. You know, like when you used to go to the store back when
George Niang and Karis LeVert.
Relax on the for nothing part.
No, for nothing. Karis LeVert and Niang are not even in his ballpark.
Karis LeVert is one of the better rotation players in the game.
Okay, better backups. Better backups. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and that's what DeAndre Hunter was when he was in Atlanta. He was exactly in the running for 6 man of the year.
Let me give you the least valuable item in my pack. Here you go. We'll do a trade. DeAndre Hunter is nice.
Swipa, you seen what he did yesterday?
Yeah, of course. He's good. He's a very good player.
Without Donovan Mitchell, what they were down, how much were they down? 16, 17?
Yeah,
17, I think.
Yeah, and then they had a huge comeback because Denny Avia was
I gotta start talking about Danny Avia more, man. I like that. I just like I like the fact that I don't give him enough credit as a defender. Danny Avia plays defense. Yes, he does. He definitely plays defense.
Yo, they got Jelani Kamara, Denny Avia, Donovan Clingan, and Scoot Henderson. They have a good future. They
building something in Portland. Yes, they are. 100% they are. I like what they're doing in Portland. No, I will not argue that. I felt like the offense was stagnant because the Trailblazers in the first half played some defense. Then it went the other way in the second half. And Mobley started getting to the rim. In addition to Mobley getting to the rim, they started running more ISOs for DeAndre Hunter, and it worked. And Ty Jerome might be the biggest addition in terms of offseason guys who we're not talking about. He might be the biggest addition in terms of an offseason guy coming off the bench. That when I watch teams go to their guy in the meat and potatoes of games, Coach Atkinson actually draws up plays for Ty Jerome. He runs ISOs for him. I watched when they play Oklahoma City and Cleveland. He went to Ty Jerome to go after Jalen Williams. I watched when they played against the Celtics. He drew up stuff for Ty Jerome to go after Peyton Pritchard. They actually run stuff for him. And in addition to running stuff for him, they got enough guys around him to protect him as a defender where he could just play solid defense. And they got Jared Allen. They got Mobley to protect him as a defender. So the addition of Ty Jerome has been huge for this Cavs team. I won't argue that at all. Yeah. But I feel like I find myself defending myself when of this panel up here, I was the biggest on the Cavs before the season started.
You're defending yourself.
But today you're the lowest.
Yeah,
let's see. Austin, what is the floor and the ceiling for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
The floor, maybe I think second round. I think the ceiling, NBA Finals. Sure.
Yeah,
finals or championship?
Yeah, you're the lowest. He's the lowest.
I mean. A championship. I mean, you just never know. You never know with injuries, things like that through the playoffs. You never know just who the matchup's going to be coming out the West. You saw what they were capable of the other night, playing a really good lockdown defense against Boston and coming back from a early deficit in the game. and being able to withhold and make plays down the stretch. You know, Evan Mobley's turned into an all-star type player. You know, so if he can stay at that level defensively, and they have Jerry Allen, who's a big force, you know, it's tough in the playoffs. You know, we'll never know. We'll never know.
I'm going on record, Ron. I'm saying it. Evan Mobley's making the All-Pro team this year.
Oh,
I'm saying it.
Yeah,
He's going to be an All-Pro this year.
well,
Third team All-Pro. Yes, sir. I think Evan Mobley's going to be an All-Pro this year.
Mitch.
Yep.
So Mitch Mobley.
That's
is
it.
Garland not going to get the love? Is that what? Are we assuming that he's just not?
I just think that I think when you're talking about the All-Pro team, I think it's extremely guard heavy because you got guys like Anthony Edwards and Curry and Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young.
Well, Trae Young's not.
Cade Cunningham, guys like that. I feel like it's ridiculously guard heavy, but I'm gonna get to you in a second, Austin. But I feel like what Evan Mobley's been doing this season, a 19-9 guy who I think is the best defensive player in the game, who I think is going to be the defensive player in the league. I think he's an All-Pro this season.
Jaren Jackson doesn't rebound, so yeah.
Well, Jaren Jackson Jr. is more than likely going to win, but he's also been spectacular. I don't know if you watched that Knicks game. Oh wow!
No, I did. Which the Knicks game when they played Memphis?
The one that just happened 3 days ago or whatever.
Yeah, the one we was on Playback for.
Yeah, we did watch that one. I also watched the game when they played against Cleveland. I watched that game too.
Yeah, Evan had a good game, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is like, I think he's gonna win, but you know who knows?
3 rebounds.
We also got to acknowledge though.
Sick of this, Mars.
I'm
tired of hearing this shit from you dudes, man. Bigs that don't rebound. That's defensive players of the year. No,
I'm telling you, that's gonna be the thing with Jaren Jackson.
Oh yeah, you're
I'm acknowledging Jaren Jackson as an elite defender. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying about like I'm with you on the Jaren Jackson thing. I can't stand the non-rebounding thing. I think he's a great defender, but not rebounding really, it really brings that down. But I'm talking about Cleveland as a whole. We got to acknowledge that they might have the biggest gap from floor to ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Seeing especially as them being the 1 seed. And I'm saying that because this team could win the championship. But I'm also saying that because come April 15th or whenever the playoffs start,
tax day,
Orlando might have found it again.
Oh, come on.
What?
Come on,
Ron?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like still
Orlando
can't get back on track.
No, here's what I mean.
Yeah, still believing in Orlando at this point.
Orlando being a threat.
And Cleveland is destroying Orlando.
I thought you were gonna say Detroit Ox, and I was gonna be like, oh okay.
Mars, define destroying them.
That's none of those games would be close.
So Cleveland smokes them in what? 5 games?
4 games. None of the games will be close. There won't be a close game in that series. No, a game won't be close in that series.
The Magic are just not good right now.
We'll see.
The Magic aren't a good team right now. Is what it is.
Maybe not right now. That's why I said they could get back clicking come April.
They got about 6 weeks, but I just don't see the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, I think Ox has a point.
Like at all.
If everybody on the Cleveland Cavaliers fails to do their taxes by the 15th, and they all get put in federal prison by the IRS, I think.
Nah, because if you roll out Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, and them, I still think they probably win in 6. Like, yeah, Orlando's not good, man. Unless you get like first 5 games of the season. You get first 5 games of the season, Paolo, and you get a fully locked in Franz. I'll give you a game.
Y'all, speaking of being fully locked in, we are fully locked in. Look at Ox's face. Look at Chill's face. Look at Swipa and Mars. We locked in when it comes to this PrizePick app. Why? Because we know when we play $5, we get 50 back instantly. If that doesn't make you want to get locked in, then quite frankly, just stay on your mama's couch because ain't nothing going to get you locked in. But y'all see the player projections under LeBron James and Jokic's name, 25.5, 47.5. Well, at PrizePicks, after you download the app and after you use the promo code panel, you'll find these player projections with all your favorite players in the favorite sport that you like. And you simply go more or less with 2 or more players. And that's how you play on PrizePicks. And once again, when you play $5, you get 50 back instantly. And we are going to show you guys right here and now. Let's get into it, fellas. We got 4 picks today. Let's go ahead and make it happen.
I'll go first.
Jimmy tonight? Can we do something easy?
Yeah, Jimmy's.
Can we do 4 goblins? Can we?
We'll just take Steph Curry 19.5, please.
Yeah. Let's go.
Who do they play?
Goblins.
They played Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Last time he barely played and blew them out.
That's what I'm saying. 19.5 is a good demon.
He ain't hit 19 last time, I don't think. He had like.
I want this goblin. I'm gonna take DeMar.
Oh,
all right, cool.
Is that his demon or goblin?
That's his goblin. That's his demon's like 24 or something.
We're gonna switch it up today. We're gonna go 4 goblins.
Why is Draymond Goblin 7.5? Isn't that like way above his average? Like, am I bugging?
Yeah. Yo, Ox, just give me that Jimmy assist. Yeah, throw Steph on there.
Oh, Draymond averages 9? Oh, good work, Draymond. My fault. I don't know.
And we need one more.
I want to take a look at Trae Young. They play Memphis tonight. I want to see what them assists look like. Excuse me. 25.
8.5.
Come on, let's run that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
This is despicable.
I'll take the more on
despicable?
That. Yes.
This whole thing, Ron, this is disgusting.
Can we get the 8.5?
What was that? 20 to win 30? To not even win anything?
Man, you got to take your small gains. You know, 20 to 36. Hey, chat, I'm trying to show you guys how to be frugal, okay? You don't always have to hit home runs. Sometimes you just got to get on first base. Hey, sometimes you just got to get hit by the pitch. All right, so we are going to do this.
Lean into it.
I feel no shame right now.
Crowd
20 to 36. Thank you, PrizePicks. We appreciate it. All right,
let's get on base.
I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted.
So you bet 20 to make 80? I mean, it's still 4 times the dough.
I'm saying,
no, we need to make 36.
No, we bet 20 to make 36.
Yeah, that ain't no way, man. Come on, yo, what we doing?
Great. Hey, chill. You can go get a pack of squares. Mars, you can go get a 6-pack. Ox, you can go get a bucket of extra crispy. I can take my $7 and we all gonna have a good time.
Wait, I can't eat with $16.
We still getting the 20 back.
Hey,
that's 40,
Ron.
That's 36. What's
Ron,
up?
if your lady sent you $30 for lunch, could you eat all $30?
I'll make it work.
You make it work?
Yeah.
Oh, bet. I don't know if you know. That might be a little low for you.
See, the thing about it is,
you the high maintenance dude out over here swiping.
No, I'm chilling. Exactly. I'll be chilling. Meal prep, free. Salmon bits.
All right, y'all. Well, we got a segment that we're gonna get to at the top of the hour, but before we do that, it is a special player's birthday today. You guys know the most underappreciated player in the NBA.
Who's that?
Yes, it's his birthday today. Jayson Tatum turns 27 today.
That's right.
And
happy birthday, JT.
Before we talk about JT, I just want to acknowledge some of his accomplishments. We've talked about Jayson Tatum a lot this last week, but obviously, Eastern Conference Finals MVP in 2022, All-Star Game MVP in 2023. In 2024, he was the NBA champion. He's a 6-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, going on 5th, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and one of the most storied NBA players to turn 27. Austin, you haven't been up here to talk Jayson Tatum with us, and we quite frankly don't know how you feel about Jayson Tatum. But do you think he's underappreciated? Do you think he deserves more love?
I think he deserves more respect on his game. I think what he's done since he's been there is phenomenal. He's done some great and crazy things in the playoffs. I think him just becoming more of a complete 3-level scorer in the playoffs, I want to see. I think that he's just really done some really good things. I just think that he can take over series even at a higher level going forward in his career. But I think he's one of the scariest players in the NBA. I mean, I think he's one of those guys that maybe the media talks about a little bit down, but the players respect on the court a little bit more.
But won't say it out loud.
There you go.
Players respect him.
They don't want to give him the edge. Sure.
I think players in general talk more about Tatum when asked about him.
Is Tatum disrespected or is he just underappreciated? I don't think Tatum's disrespected.
What you call it? Call him the softest player in Celtic history.
Who?
Jennings.
He's a softest superstar.
Yeah, Brandon Jennings is he's on the panel like yapping. So like that's different. They asked Jokic yesterday.
Someone's got to be the softest.
He respected. He didn't disrespect him. He showed him a lot of love right there. Superstar in Celtics history. Like, come on, we're talking about the Boston Celtics. We're not talking about the Charlotte Hornets,
the Denver Nuggets.
We're talking about the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, great franchise.
I didn't look at it. To be honest with you, Ron, I didn't look at it like that. I mean, compared to Bird, compared to Russell, compared to those guys, I think the buzzword, the trigger word, let me rephrase that, is soft. That's probably where the issue lies. I mean, if it's like saying you're the weakest player of all great Celtic superstars, right? It's like you're the weakest player of all Lakers superstars, and the buzzword here is weakest, right? So does that mean that your game is whack? No, it doesn't. It just, the buzzword there is weakest, so it just sounds bad. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's been great with the Celtics. He's going to be an all-time great with the Celtics. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. 27 years old. I think the Celtics are winning the NBA championship again this year. Bird can't say he won the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons. I think he's going to be an all-pro for the 4th straight year. Russell can't say that he did that. I mean, he's doing stuff that hasn't been done in Celtic with being a Celtic. So
why do you feel like he's separated from Jaylen Brown, since Jaylen Brown is right there with him winning all those things?
Why do I think? I just think that he does more than Jaylen.
Well, if any,
because one is like clearly better.
No, one is better, but I guess that's what I'm saying too. Like, I think that's where the split happens. Where I'm not JB is not better than Tatum. I don't think he should have been an all-star this year. I think like the issue is like Tatum and Brown are both responsible for what they have.
Each other's success is what you're saying.
They're teammates. They play together, and so I think that's where some of it is. If people think JT is disrespected and disregarded, JB is disrespected and disregarded by Celtics fans that are Tatum pushing, but not pushing for JB. And I think that's the issue. Like, I think JT among the league, he's very well respected. Players love him. They like to engage with him.
Yep.
He's one of the best players in the league. You know, they asked Jokic. Jokic said he's a superstar, the best player on the championship team. Like, players like him. You know, I think that's largely due to guys who, when they play with other great players, that they separate themselves. Like we saw Curry, as good as Klay Thompson was, he separated himself from Steph Curry. When we see James, with as good as Dwayne Wade was, he separated himself from Dwayne Wade. The fact that there's a conversation between both Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, just off the strength of what he had done in the postseason, I think that's where the issue comes in. Not because Jaylen Brown is better or Jaylen Brown is as good as Jayson Tatum at basketball. I think Jayson Tatum is a better basketball player than him. You know, I have a difficult time with that logic. I think that Jayson Tatum is a better basketball player than him, and I think he does more than Jaylen Brown. But they're largely responsible for each other's success. I also think it's a function. Ox, because you know Ox, I think, are you on the JB better than JT side? But like, I think you also appreciate JT in large part, don't you, Ox?
No, I just think JB gets disrespected.
Sure.
I think JT is the better basketball player, but I think JB does a lot of things that go overlooked. I think he's done a lot for that franchise. I think he's done just as much for that franchise as Jayson Tatum, regardless of who's better.
Yesterday was an example of that. I mean, or not even yesterday, when we saw the Celtics Cavs game, Mars and I were just talking about that. Like, he had a quiet 37. Like, nobody was even talking about it. A quiet 37. Jayson Tatum went for 42, but it was a quiet 37. Like, damn, he got 37 points. Nobody was talking about it. And I mean, I like the fact that Jaylen Brown is able to score in the mid-range. I think that Coach Mazzulla is a little much for me, putting the ball in Jaylen Brown's hands as much as he does, because I mean, as that handle is so weak to me. It just is. That handle is ridiculously weak for somebody that's the scorer that he is. But I thought they did a good job yesterday as a duo. I did. I felt like they did a great job
first half
for what they were yesterday. I do. I think
first half, 100%. They were 4-14 in the second half at 7 points each.
Well, I didn't even know. See, that's the thing, though, Swipa. I'm not talking about the points, right?
Jayson Tatum's play in the third quarter directly led to the Nuggets getting back in the game, though. Like, he was making some really bad decisions in that game. Not overall.
I saw two turnovers from Jayson Tatum in the third quarter that to be honest with you, I got to take him out the game because they were bad. Like he had one turnover where the Nuggets were getting back. The Nuggets were getting back in the game, and Derek White was looking like he was diving to the middle of the paint, and Jayson just threw the ball. He just lobbed it, and Denver was on an 8-0 run. And I'm thinking you have to be more aware in terms of getting rid of the ball. He just gave the ball up. I was thinking, he got to come out the game for that. No.
Sure, what Swipa won't tell you was that it was Christian Brown and Jamal Murray that made that game something. It wasn't Jayson Tatum messing up. It was Jamal Murray waking up. It was Christian Brown. It was Christian Brown carrying the squad for the whole first 3 quarters. That's what.
Yes,
that's what.
You don't talk about Christian Brown nearly as much as you should.
Christian Brown carrying the squad seems a bit.
I mean, it might seem a little bit or sound a little bit, but that's what was going on from my eyes. Now, mind you, that's just what I seen.
Did you go to the eye doctor last weekend like you told me you would?
No, I've been to the eye doctor since last year, but my peepers are working pretty fine.
I got you.
No need for glasses yet, but that's just what I saw. Now, mind you, we could see different things. Like I could see Jamal Murray getting a bucket, and you could see this person getting cooked. We can see the same thing different ways. What I saw was Christian Brown putting on a carry job. Not me. I don't mean to say like he was going for a career. I don't think that was a career high, right? Like
no.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that he kept them active. You know what I'm saying? Being super aggressive, getting out of transition.
Definitely made up for Uno.
Jamal Murray made, I believe, like 3 really good defensive possessions in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's all I'm saying. Like I get. No, I don't get it. I don't think it was Jayson Tatum that let the Nuggets get back in the game. I think it was Jamal Murray.
I was more so specifically saying in the third quarter, the Celtics started isoing Jayson Tatum throughout the almost entirety of the third quarter, and that led to 2 buckets for Tatum. But then he had 2 turnovers in that set, and he was clanking. And so what happened was that when Tatum starts missing and then starts turning the ball over, to Chill's point, the Nuggets on the other end were converting those turnovers and misses into better looks, and then they were getting back into the game. And I think they got it down to 4 or whatever it was going into the third quarter. And I told Chill the moment that Jamal got going was, I don't know, if you remember Ox, it's when Jamal and Tatum were going that little push off they were having on the left wing or whatever, and Jamal's looking at the ref like, you gonna keep letting them like just push me out the way like this? And then Tatum missed that shot. And then, we went back, and the next thing you know, Jamal just started like.
And Jamal's playing good defense, though, getting his chest in front. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Jamal's fouling at all. I will say Jamal's getting torched by Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, so in the first half,
and in the second half, too, he went after him.
Well, but
it got made up because
he stood his ground that second half, though, Chill.
Yeah, he started. JB started missing those mid-range shots, and he got the ball stolen once, too, as well.
Yes, but with that being said, they still went after him, which I thought that was brilliant of Coach Mazzulla.
They've done that for years,
going after Jamal Murray, going after Joker in particular. And I feel like on some level, the code is kind of getting cracked. Okay, so on the one hand, that's why I still got to see what the counter is with the Lakers and Denver, because with the first game since Luka's been there, we pick up Joker full court. All right, so you and I had this conversation, Mars, like, okay, what's the counter to that? Well, I'm thinking that the counter to that is turn Joker into a 5-man. Make him be a rim runner and just dive into the middle of the paint and just be a 5-man. If you're going to have Rui picking him up full court, Joker's running right to the rim, and he's just getting big in the rim. Give him the basketball, right? That's number one. But they were physical with Joker. The counter to that is now screens more for Joker, getting Joker more open looks, getting Joker more comfortable with having the ball without a lot of action around him. But number 2, what yesterday I saw was get Joker in the action and keep Joker in the action on the regular. So that was the Nuggets making that switch though in their defense. Well, it's not that it was the Nuggets making that switch. We can't discount how good the Celtics
in the
are
fourth quarter.
Right in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, they intentionally would put Jokic on Derek White on an island and then Tatum on an island.
No, and understand that they're so good at screening too. Don't leave that out, Joker. Yeah, because what was happening is they were getting beat in the rotation, and that was the real problem. Like, because remember, Derek White in that quarter had 2, 3 threes or whatever, and they were all like in rotation because they were overwhelmed on one side of the ball. And so then they did what they did versus Drew Holiday last year. They did what they did versus the Pelicans. They did what they did versus like other teams where they'll just put Jokic on ISO and say the better thing to do here is like, Joker, you just contain from a drive, and then you can give up a step back 3, and then the math game is better in that situation. And so in the fourth quarter in particular is what I'm talking about.
Derek White had a lob to Luke Cornett, and then he had to step back three in the left wing, and then Tatum had a drive on Joker, but then he missed on that shot. But in the fourth quarter, the Celtics offense stalled out, in part because of how they were playing them. The Nuggets they played a great defensive game plan. The issue is they just couldn't.
No, they didn't. Swiper. No,
you know how many points the Celtics scored in the fourth?
I think 19 points in the fourth.
Yes, and they had their worst scoring quarter. Yeah, they had the worst scoring quarter.
100% it was, but that wasn't because of. It was more because of. I feel like it was more because of what. I feel like it was more because guys like Jayson Tatum, who I saw him making shots against Evan Mobley, those shots that he was missing, he was actually making those shots against Evan Mobley. But on top of that, the fact that they went to Derek White and had him attack Joker in the pick and roll, and once they got Joker switched on him, because the game plan looked like they were going to put Joker on the weaker defender on the perimeter. I don't know what the hell that was, even though the Celtics had gone small. They're going to put Joker on the weaker defender. Well, put Joker on a weaker offensive player in both in Derek White. Well, Derek White's just going to attack him, and that seems like that's the code that's getting cracked. Be physical with Joker, get Joker into action, get Joker going downhill. If Joker backs off you, crack it. And then that just put them in such a bind.
I guess what I'm trying to explain though, like that's a better putting him on ISO versus Derek White is specifically is preventing the pick and roll and what happens after that though. Like that's a adjustment on half of the Nuggets though.
That part I do.
And I'm saying like in that instance, like again, it's not the offense for the Celtics wasn't the problem. They did what they were supposed to do. It was the other end of the court. They could not convert those other licks. Like Russ and obviously CB, like, you know, they were having like a good game for the most part. Michael Porter was nowhere to be seen in the second half.
Why was that? And
I think for several different reasons. I think Porter is just like, I think that when sometimes like if he gets phased out of the offense and then also converting some of those looks, he just doesn't. He sometimes can just really fade out of being involved in the game, but also because of his specific kind of skill set. If they're keying in on him because of the way they're defending the Nuggets, they are literally just saying, okay, Jokic, no. Murray, we're going to do our best to keep you from scoring. Porter, we don't want you to score. And so then they're funneling it to Russ and then Christian Brown. And so basically giving you the best looks possible. And so Westbrook had like wide open, obviously corner attempt at the air ball, had the dump off pass off the double off Joker that he dropped out of bounds. But I think also too, Joker was clearly like labored yesterday, and I think we obviously
I feel
talk
like
about
when
that.
you're so one-dimensional, and that doesn't mean that Michael Porter Jr. can't do other things, but I feel like when you're primarily this and you play against a defensive team like the Boston Celtics, that really hampers you, especially because as switch heavy as they are, and the fact that they're able to contest shots that you're only going to shoot. Like, you're not a downhill guy, you're not a guy that's one-on-one that's going to get to the rim. That's not your game at all. And then on top of that, to turn Russ at this age and who he is, turn Russ into a primary playmaker. Put the ball in Russ's hands and make Russ make plays against that defense. We'll live with the result with Russ. 100% he's going to make some plays. We'll drop the ball off to Joker, and he'll make something positive happen. But more times than not, we're going to leave Russ wide open at the long ball line. Russ, knock yourself out. We will live with you shooting that all night long, all afternoon long. No question about that. But when again, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but when you rely heavily on what Michael Porter Jr. relies on, and you have such a switch-heavy defense that's full of versatile defenders like what the Celtics have, I think you can slow down a guy like Michael Porter Jr. and then on top of that, have a guy like Russ. You could put the ball in his hands and make him make plays. You're betting that he's going to make more mistakes than he's going to make positive plays, and I think that's what happened yesterday with the Celtics.
Well, the Celtics can do a whole bunch of stuff like that. Because
one more time, Mox. I'm sorry. You went out. One more time, Mox.
I was just real quick saying that the Celtics have the luxury of doing those type of things, having those type of defensive schemes, because they have a first ballot Hall of Famer in Al Horford on the squad. So they get away with a lot of things.
Coming. I did knew this was coming, man. Oh man, I knew.
You see how that man was playing ball yesterday?
I like the fact that they went after Jamal Murray, and we got the switch on Jamal Murray and Al Horford on the box, and Al Horford just went after him. Put Jamal Murray into action early. I always felt like that about offensive players. As good as you are as a scorer, put these dudes on the defense.
Well, he's the smallest player on the court. He's 6'4", so like it's just easier to go after him than even at Porter, just because of the size difference sometimes. But
all right,
James,
go ahead. It's about that time. You guys know it's Monday.
Yeah.
Y'all know what we do on Monday. This is around the time where I get a good drum roll. Brrr. Top 5 comments of the week. Let's go ahead and get into it. Shout out to everybody that's been tapped in over this last week. Shout out to everybody that's liked the video. Shout out to everybody that's subscribed. And shout out to all of our followers all across all social media platforms. You guys are the best, and you guys send through fire comments. So we like to acknowledge some of these comments that you guys send through. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first comment is courtesy of Marvin T. 1334. Marvin said, "What a flex to say you scored 9 points on Kobe. Chill, really that guy."
Mars, just so you know, Mars, he was not playing like around, like joking around. We were serious. We were going at it. It wasn't like, I'm just gonna see. No, we were going at it. It was for real.
So how'd the second game go so wrong?
That's a good ass question. That is a good ass question, because it wasn't like he didn't do anything different. Like, he was doing the same thing he was doing in the first game, and I was doing the same thing I was doing in the first game. I just couldn't score on him. I don't know why. I was doing the same, and it wasn't like he was blocking my shot or anything like that. He was contesting it, but like the stuff that he was doing in terms of scoring, it just looked a lot. It just looked a lot crisper, and it looked a lot sharper. So, but we went at it though. Yes, we did.
Chill, you thought you was gonna beat Kobe in the second game? You like, I scored 9, I almost won this first game. You thought you was gonna come back and
to be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about it. I just was thinking that we're playing one-on-one. And I was oh, I got this dude. And remember who we talking about? We talking about we ain't talking about the great Kobe Bryant. We talking about a 19-year-old who just finished his rookie year, right? Who just came out of high school. That's what we talking about. We ain't talking about a dude who's a big deal yet. So I'm playing against an NBA player, and I'm playing one-on-one. Let's go at it. That's all I was thinking. I wasn't thinking nothing else.
Well, this was a one-on-one versus Kobe Bryant in 19, who was
97.
So he was a rookie. He was the number 1 player in high school, and then he was not great as a rookie, but he was obviously one of the best athletes in the sport already.
Sure.
Yeah, and then he decided to turn it on once in the second game. Yeah. It's Kobe.
And then he was destined to be 11th full time.
No wonder he's 11th. I got it. I get it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's what it is. Yep.
And Kobe bigger than you?
I'm still holding on to that. Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm still holding on to that almost 30 years later. Yep. Nothing else is going on. Nothing else is going on in my life. 30 years later, I'm holding on to
in terms of basketball, what happened after that for you? Was that the peak of your basketball career since then?
No, I played overseas.
That's right. Let the people know.
But I mean, be clear. It's not like it's not like I got ruined by this. Like, oh my God, I got no chance. Like, I mean, this is who you playing against. I mean, the guy was. I didn't know he was that good until later on. No, I didn't.
Shout out to Mamba, man, for real. Our second comment of the week is from J Shack 2334. J Shack said, "Friga on is heat. Keep up the great content."
That was dope. I did enjoy that.
Keep up the good content, fellas.
It was nice. Yeah.
The next comment is from Prince DJJ. Prince said, "I was about to say, great show, fellas. A lot of great points." And then Swipa said, 2025 Nikola Jokic is better than prime LeBron James. and SGA could be better than prime KD, which is wild. But that's Swipa for you.
Was 2016 prime LeBron in the regular season? I'm sorry. Like, if y'all want to live in the past with nostalgia and all this, I'm cool. But like, if you're asking me, like, is this version that we've seen this year of Joker better than the regular season LeBron? Then I'm going to tell you yes. I don't really know. For me, it's not really much of a debate.
You doubling down on this?
There's nothing to double down on.
You're doubling down on this.
Regular season LeBron in 2015-16. Yeah, I think we should we should probably go back to that season.
But we're not doing. We're not doing the regular season.
That's what we're doing. That was the question.
Okay, but even if we are doing the regular season,
we're only in the regular season right now.
Even if we are doing the regular season, I'm assuming everybody's taking Bron.
Sure, go ahead. If you're asking me, though, I'm telling you that, like, this is what, based on what's actually happened. Yeah, Joker's been having a crazy year.
Let me go.
And SGA is going to be what was that? Because I wasn't there for this part.
SGA having a better season than Kevin Durant in 2015-16.
Those two things are not the same thing. Those two things are not.
Alex, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened, because
lay it out for us, Mars.
Someone sent a super chat talking about 2016 Curry would be the best player in the league today. That was the super chat. 2016 Curry would be the best player in the league today. And then we were discussing that. We didn't know if we agreed or not. And then Swiper said the difference between like 2016 Curry and now is 2016 didn't have a player like Jokic and SGA. That was his exact words. That was his exact words.
Like
so
James
that's why we all was like,
wait, what?
Because we knew LeBron and KD existed.
Yep.
And now he's like, well, in the regular season, I mean, Jokic's better. Like, what he said, word for word, was 2016.
That is, we're in
didn't
the
have a player
season,
like
though.
Jokic and SGA.
So again, that's what I'm saying. If you disagree based on the playoff stuff, that's a whole different thing. But neither one of those players are going to the playoffs right now. So that's what, and I feel like we've already been here with like how good Joker's been this season. So, but yeah, I guess it's just
Swiper. Yeah, but I'm asking this. I already know the answer to this. You're basing this based on some form of stats and metrics and whatnot, right? You're not basing this off of this person was better this year than this person was this year, right?
No, he's basing this on him being born in Denver.
Okay. No,
that doesn't explain. That doesn't explain.
I don't want to put that on Swipe. Swipe got much more integrity.
Maybe I just overvalue SGA.
Much more integrity than that. Swiper. So you're saying that
I'm not saying
this version of SGA.
It's all because I'm from Denver. Yeah, no.
You
Ron, what you started, Ron? We trying to get you started with this, Ron.
I guess I can't tell the truth.
This is what you started.
Let's stick to SGA. Are you saying that in 2025 SGA is a better basketball player than 2016 Kevin Durant, or are you saying that
regular season context, I think SGA is having one of the best years we've seen, and I think you can probably
is he a better basketball player or his stats just better?
That's not how that works though. Like, is he having a better regular season than he did in that setting in that year? I think there's argument he is.
I'm saying based 100%. On what? I'm just curious to know based on what.
Yeah, I think from a scoring standpoint, I think that SGA has been remarkable this year. I think he's putting up like legitimate volume that I think can be contested around the league. I think he's been one of the best drivers we've seen from a guard, period. I think he's creating more offense at the middle of the court than almost any guard other than maybe James Harden that I can think about in the last several years. I think that defensively he's been very good this year. I think that, again, I don't think he's like a top 10 defender certified, but I think he's also been like legitimately like, top 15, top 20 defender this year. I think off ball is really good. I think on ball he's like, a little bit whatever, but he's been a really good rim protecting guard as well. Like, yeah, he just is. He's been like incredible. I think relative to what he has around him too, like he's showing like he's lifting a level of offense around him that's pretty mediocre, and he's making it elite.
I don't want to rewrite. I don't want to rewrite history, but Swiper, do I have to remind you of Kevin Durant in 2016? No. You remember that dude? I mean, I don't
know who it is.
He said better score. You said he's a better.
Scorer.
No, I didn't say better. I didn't say better score. I think he's been a very good scorer this year. He has an argument for best scorer in the league this year. 100%.
Who's the best scorer?
But who's a better scorer?
KD. So in that season, I would say it's still KD. In a 15-16.
It's not even like close. Who's the better?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, where are we going? Like, SGA's been SGA's having one of the best like perimeter scoring seasons. Period. Like,
yeah, but he's 40, 50, 90.
Which is which is fair, Swiper. He is having a great season. If you think about isn't that where that came from? Like the three level scorer. Isn't that where that came from with KD? Like he started that whole thing. Like
he didn't start that. No.
I mean they started labeling it.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying like it got enhanced with KD being the 3-level scorer. Like shooting that, especially a guy of that size.
He was the one when everyone to stick with analytics and threes and layups. He's the one who will not. He has adamantly said, "I will be taking my pull-up jump shots, and no one's going to tell me otherwise." So
you're that good at them. I mean, take as many as you want. But
100%.
But when you're doing over 100%, like, I mean, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I mean, with numbers and metrics and all that stuff, I mean, but LeBron in that point in time was amazing. Jokic right now is playing unreal. I mean, like last couple of years, it's just been something different. I mean, he'll be going for his 4th MVP this year.
In 5 years,
he's gonna come second, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, but I mean, I don't know if you're. I think Jokic and a player or a pick might have got traded for LeBron in 2016. But
did you fight that, Swiper?
How old was 2016 Bron? 30?
He was 31.
So Jokic age. So basically Jokic age. In the rounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's around Joker's age.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Swiper.
Yes.
So I know you said that Giannis and Jokic, they are at that moment in time there was no Giannis and Jokic in the league. So I gotta ask you.
Jokic and SGA.
Where
He
we
didn't
Giannis?
bring up Giannis. Yeah, he didn't bring up Giannis. Jokic and SGA.
Well, the
Was
question
Jokic
was
and
about
SGA?
SGA and Jokic.
Yeah. Don't throw
All right,
Giannis
so-
into these talks.
Okay.
Is what
so-
Swipe is saying.
I didn't say any of that actually. Didn't come out of my mouth.
SGA and Jokic currently, or Bron and KD in 2016.
Both of
You
them
started
together,
anyway.
Bron and KD. Both of them together, Bron and KD.
All right.
But I
Rank
think that's
them. Rank them 1 through 4.
just through these seasons individually.
That's it. 2025.
Just
2025
rank them
I'm
1
gonna
through
say
4.
so. No, so
2015,
basically,
2016 KD, 2015.
Jokic, Bron, regular season setting. Jokic, Bron, KD, and then SGA. That would be my 4. That's how the 4 would go.
Rank them as players. Just who's the best player. Rank them 1 through 4. Best
Bron,
player.
like, what do you mean? Like just player?
James,
Bron,
so-
easy.
Yeah, who's the
Oh
best?
no,
Rank
this
them 1 through 4.
I'm going to be very clear about this. This version of Joker is better than any. And again, you can push any whatever KD prime you want to push. Ron, because you don't even think you top 10
Third
player.
Steph in
of
there
this
too.
over
Third
25
Steph in
years.
there too. Third Steph in there too.
Yeah,
So
I think peak for peak, Jokic is better than Steph as well.
Okay, so we'll go Bron, Jokic, Steph, KD, SGA.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then Giannis would be.
Bron,
I mean, best for best.
he
I
said
think
he's
I think
best.
I think you can make an argument. Giannis's peak is better than KD. You can make an argument, but
It's 20. It's 20. It's 2025. Giannis better than 16 Leonard.
Kawhi? Yeah, he better.
Yeah.
Kawhi. Yeah,
so
he better.
when Mars says it because
You're the only one who think he deserves
was
an
lost
MVP.
in he was
He
lost in
better.
San Antonio. Then
Yeah,
no,
he-
Mars can say
he
that. No
better.
pushback.
You're saying wait. You're saying that
I can't say
this
Giannis
guy
better than
is
Kawhi.
better
I
than
can't
that
say that.
Kawhi.
I mean, Giannis.
2016, yeah, I can comfortably say that. Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine.
I'll say
No
that.
pushback.
Very
No
confident.
questions. No questions. No context.
Why would that be questions?
No explanation why. Okay. All right. Cool.
This isn't 17
Mars
or
says it with an
8 or-
accent.
This
There's no
is
pushback.
17 or 19 Kawhi.
Why would
This is
anyone
16.
question that?
Why would
16
anyone
Kawhi
question
was
2016,
nasty, bro.
17?
He was,
Kawhi
but
For sure,
nasty.
for
Just
sure.
like
Top
17 Kawhi, right?
5-ish
And
player.
wasn't that
yeah,
DP
top
a why
5-ish
Kawhi?
player.
Yes.
yeah.
He
Oh,
did
wow.
win it that year. He shouldn't have, but he did win it that year. Yeah,
He shouldn't have.
Draymond should have won it over him that year.
absolutely. But
Mm.
Kawhi was still an amazing defender. Absolutely, he's a better defender than Giannis is right now, for sure.
By
think
far,
we're
it's
talking
not even
about two
conversation.
Oh, for sure. The offense is also there's miles apart. But
Hmm.
well, it's cool.
Mm. Ron, any
All right,
pushback?
y'all.
You're a Giannis guy. You're gonna say something? You just gonna let it happen?
It's nothing. What are we letting happen? We're talking
Do you
about. We're
think
saying.
Giannis?
We're,
You think the Giannis is better than that version of Kawhi?
of course.
Okay.
I don't-
Everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks that.
Everyone does. Do you think that?
Hey, 17, 19, we could talk about something because
Was that
Kawhi
his
was
best year?
Kawhi was that nice.
2017 is better than 2016. Like,
Yeah, what
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Kawhi took a big step forward.
So I want to say
from
we have
2017.
nuances when we approach Kawhi Leonard, but if I say LeBron James regular season that year, I got you. The name carried too much weight. I got you.
we ain't just saying regular season. We're just saying as a player, you're the one having to regular season. This
Well,
guy
that's
just
what the
did
conversation
big
was about. SGA.
That's what. Yeah, well, that's what you made.
versus Durant.
Yeah, that's what.
That's
you
what
made
it should be.
That's what you
Obviously,
made it.
overall, LeBron's better than all these.
Why
people.
should it be regular season?
Because
if
we're
we
talking.
know
That's
who
what we're talking
LeBron
about
James
regular season
is,
context.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
you
understand
made.
that, but
it.
see,
Yeah.
but
If
we have to
Jokic goes to
slim
the
it down to
playoffs
regular
this
season to
Well, let me ask
put
you a direct
Jokic in a
question.
LeBron
Let
conversation.
me ask you a question.
For
If
what?
Jokic goes to the playoff this year, and just say he does 34, 14, 12 on like
Nice.
60,
And you still wouldn't say he's better than
60%.
LeBron. So I mean,
No, I'm not even done with the question, Mars. Yap. Shh. Ron. And he does 34, 14, and 12 or whatever. And he's shooting 62, 48, 83.
He's
through the
Joker,
entire run.
basically.
That's
He's Joker,
what
essentially.
that's what he's done. He
You're
ups his
saying that he's
volume.
Joker.
He ups his volume. He shoots elite from 2, elite from 3, and very good from the free throw line. And then they win the title. No, then what? Then what do we do?
And they win the title?
Yes.
Yo,
That's
check
what
this
LeBron
out.
did. LeBron won the title that year.
Yo, I swear, if Jokic does that and they win the title this year in this NBA, Swiper, I'm with you on everything you say. I might move to Denver.
is he
with
better than LeBron?
We're gonna have to just see him
Wait,
do it.
hold on,
We
hold
just
on.
got to see him do it. We just got to see
What's
him do it.
happening right now?
We just got to see him do it.
What is
That's
going
all I'm gonna say. We just got to see him do it.
What's
I got
happening
10
right
I got 10
now?
minutes left, and we can't be doing this. Hold on.
No.
We
What's
cannot
happening
be-
right now?
My
No.
God.
That's hilarious.
This is the man. Is it an earthquake?
All right, y'all. The third comment of the week. Oh, we've seen this one. The fourth comment of the week is from GS
Grind.
Indictment.
Grints.
GSR indictment.
GSR indictment. With the comment of the week. Yo, y'all hear that?
I don't know who that is.
Yes, I hear that.
GSR indictment said right from the jump, thinking about the best one-on-one players presently, not all time. My top 5 picks in order is KD, Tatum, SGA, Kyrie, D. Mitch.
What is this?
His
Somebody
top
gotta
5
read that
one-on-one players.
This is
Yep.
my top 5 picks for one-on-one players just this year, a bit this iteration. Okay.
This is his.
I would probably not have Donovan Mitchell in there. I'm not putting guards. I think they're too small.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't me.
Yeah, I think guards are too small. I wouldn't put guards in there. But I don't know. KD Tatum sounds about right. After that, I don't know because Embiid can't move, so that's tough. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately,
I guess Debo just doesn't exist.
oh, SJ for sure. SJ for sure. DeMar
Yes.
would be up there. DeMar would be up there.
DeMar DeRozan is not a better one-on-one player than Devin Booker. No, he isn't. No, he is not.
I got DeMar.
I'm not taking DeMar DeRozan over Devin Booker. No, I am not. I think
not
Devin
either.
Booker got. I think Devin Booker.
If they were to play one-on-one against each other, DeMar's cooking Devin.
No, he is not.
Devin's cooking DeMar.
No, he is not. Devin is.
They're gonna go back to frying each other back and forth.
That's
You
exactly
take
what's
this,
going to
you take
happen.
this, you take
Yes,
this.
sir. 100%. That's going to happen. I feel like Devin Booker got a better handle. I think his pull-up game, even is DeMar DeRozan pull-up game is, and his mid-range is incredible. But I think Devin Booker, I think he can stretch. I think he can stretch DeMar DeRozan a little bit more, and he can get to the rim. Better than DeMar DeRozan, I think.
I don't agree with that. But
I don't think he's a better one-on-one player than Devin Booker. No. I think he can. I think he will, to your point, go into his Debo bag. I could get with that. I definitely think that he will try to be rough with Devin Booker, but I think his weak hand is better. I think his pull-up game is better. I think his long ball is better. I think his counters are better than DeMar DeRozan. I just think he's a better one-on-one player. Yes, I think his counters are better than DeMar DeRozan. Yes. I think DeMar DeRozan's shot pick is better. I won't argue that.
My only issue with the one-on-one thing is just like you can have better handles or whatever. It's just about who can guard who better. You know what I mean? Like if I guard you better than me, I don't care if your handles are better than mine or any of that.
Fair enough.
Especially we playing one-on-one. You know, there's no help coming. You got to be able to stay in front of me.
Yep.
I just don't think Devin. I don't think Devin got that dog anymore on the defensive end. So, but
that sound like a light skin thing, Ox. Who sits in the chair more? That's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like a light skin thing. Like you like.
I just
rough him up a little bit.
I wish Devin Booker didn't have light skin tendencies. That's not my fault. That's his fault. He the one crying. He the one crying at open gyms.
It ain't no double.
You can't double team in ones.
I understand that he didn't already revealed. He revealed himself with that. You know what I'm saying? We know all we need to know about Devin Booker. It's like, yo, D Book, pull your skirt down. You know what I'm saying? Your panties are showing. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't double TB.
I got Paul George
be that as it may, Book is still Book. I don't care if he was crying about being double teamed or any of that. So all these NBA players be crying about stuff. Oh, ref, they're fouling me. Oh, this, oh, that. They still nice. Brian and Luka do the most crying in the league.
I'm not saying he don't get. He don't.
Well, none of us said either of their names for this. So.
Fair enough.
All right, we got another comment of the week. Our fifth one comes from.
Damn.
Once again, JSR indictment. Looks like you going back to back today.
Why he got the PC logo this time? Interesting. Suspicious.
Definitely suspicious.
That was the one you just read.
Yeah, suspicious.
Definitely suspicious. But I don't know why this is on here or why the PC logo, but either way it goes, GSR indictment said this man Swipa doing the hypnosis to chill on live stream is crazy. Jayson Tatum will never be at the conversation of being the best player on the planet. The Celtics are the most complete team and more likely close to a dynasty than any other team in the league, and that's the conversation. Being the best player is a different conversation. or a different topic. Swipa, you are not an X-Man, fool. Don't convince Chill that there is that there is a conversation, that it is a conversation, and you yourself don't even believe it. You know it's not a conversation. Don't hypnotize Chill to make him stay on being wrong. This man using telepathy shit to debate is crazy. L Swipa. Damn, Swipa, you got mind control over Chill?
No, he doesn't.
This was about Tatum winning NBA Finals and then being the best player in the world talk. So that what
Yes, sir. That's what it was about.
Well, Chill. I think we all think you're off your rocker with that one. I just but we were using your logic.
Well, again, and I know that we're a different breed up here, right? We talk different about basketball than other people do, but being the best player in the world, winning matters, and it's going to be a conversation if it happens. And I've never been one to say that Jayson Tatum was the best player on the planet. Never, because I don't think that he's better than Joker at basketball. I don't think that he's better than Giannis at basketball. I don't think that. No, I do not think that. However, winning has always been a part of being the best player in the world. It's always been that.
So if Tatum has a 16-11-7 performance on 4-15, and he has 3 of those, or say he had 2 of those at the NBA Finals, right? Which he did.
Don't be so extreme with it, though.
No, Ox. Let him be extreme with that. They can't.
Well, I'm saying that's what he did yesterday. I'm saying if he does that,
they can't win consistently. They can't win consistently with him doing that.
Let me go to Tatum's game logs last year in the NBA Final. I'm sure. Let me see. Tatum game log.
They can't win. Don't start this up again.
They can't win consistently with him doing that.
Well, I'm going to ask a question because Tatum last year in game, what was this, game 4, had 15, 5, and 3 on 40% from the field, had 18, 100%. 9, and 12 on 27% from the field. Yep. And then he had versus Dallas in game 1, 16, 11, and 5 on 37% from the field. Yep. If he does that again, has those kind of stat lines again, and they win an NBA title 4-1 because they're that good, would he be in best player in the world conversations?
I don't think that they could win with him doing that.
Again?
I don't.
They won last year with him doing that.
Yeah, they did.
But
I think it's interesting, Swiper, that you leave out that he did go. Didn't he go 30 and 10 in the closeout game?
I know, but I'm asking in the context. No, I said that if he has games like that, if he has 3 games like that.
Great players have had bad games.
The players you're comparing him to, though, in an NBA Finals wouldn't have stat lines like that. That's what I'm saying.
Your logic was based solely on scoring the basketball. That's it. He did more than just score the basketball in those series. That was it. One of the main reasons why we talk about Joker the way we talk about Joker isn't because Joker gets buckets. That's not why we talk about Joker just because Joker gets buckets. We talk about Joker because Joker does so many other things.
Yeah, but you're comparing him to Giannis, though.
That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that winning matters. And I
know, but I'm trying to figure out how much does it matter.
But I don't think I don't think that Jayson Tatum is a better basketball player than Joker. I don't think he's a better basketball player than Giannis.
But you made the argument if he wins a title.
I'm telling you, if Jayson Tatum if the Celtics win the NBA championship this year, and to your point, if he has those 3 games, but also gets busy in the finals the next 3 games, because I've seen that before, and he ends up winning the finals MVP, there are going to be people who are going to say,
you said
okay, me. I'm 100% confident. I just said I don't think that he's better than Joker.
No,
I don't think
he's better. But you said there's a conversation.
Why are we having this conversation?
Mark,
why? Even if he does win, I don't think that he's better than these guys. No, what you're trying to do, you're trying to make me say something that's just not true.
You're just yapping off the.
I'm not. You're trying to make me say something
based off the comment.
True.
It's based off the comment, based on what you said. You said at that time, if he wins the NBA Finals again for you, there's going to have to be conversation between him and Joker and Giannis. No, you said you'd have to have a conversation.
Yes, I don't. And again, there's a difference between a conversation and me actually thinking that somebody's better. I don't think that Joker is an inferior player to Jayson Tatum. I don't think that Giannis is an inferior player to Jayson Tatum. However, winning does matter when you're talking about being the best player in the world. Would he be in the conversation for best player in the world at that point after winning the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons and being first team All-Pro for the 4th straight year? Would he be in conversations? I think he would be.
Shout out to the conversation, man.
To the point of the super chat. Yes. Go ahead.
I don't know how many times we're gonna hear in the conversation on this channel, man. I'm getting sick of it.
Man, good conversations.
Mm-hmm.
DSG Piccolo wants to have a conversation about, well, you guys know. He said, Tumani FC, we up, nigga. Cavs did everything to get him off DG. Had that boy in hell. Chauncey showed why he got to go. Damn, Chauncey. Nigga had Benton in the game, had Delano Benton in the game when Reith was needed for Mobley. We win with a better coach, in my opinion. Then he was hooping.
Damn, Piccolo. I mean, they building something in Portland.
Yeah, Delano Banton's a good player.
Yeah,
they're not building it with Chauncey Billups, but yeah, for sure.
So
yeah,
they actually are building it.
I think he'll be gone. His contract's up after this year. I don't think they're bringing him back.
They actually are
Maybe
building
they
something without Chauncey Billups. Actually,
With
Chauncey Billups. They actually are building it. We can make the argument that Portland was the worst team in the league last year. You can make that argument. They were awful, no doubt about that. This year they've gotten.
They have looked better. They've looked
absolutely. They've looked better. Absolutely.
But 100% they've looked better. Now, depending on which way management wants to go, you guys want to continue to build with Chauncey Billups? Because you figure, what are they? I think they're 3 games out the play-in tournament this year, something like that. I think they're 3 games out the play-in tournament this year. And if we're building off what we have, and you got Chauncey Billups, who Scoot has improved from last year to this year. He's not the same player that he was. He has improved. So I think that they are. Yeah, they're 5 games out of the play-in, as opposed to last year, it was something ridiculous, like 15 games. Well, we're building something here in Portland. And if you have to go off of that with Portland, because you're not attracting big-time free agents. You have to draft well, which is what they're doing. They have the guys that are in place to build with Klingon, Scoot, Advia. They actually have the guys, I feel like, to build off this group with Shade and Sharp. They may keep Chauncey Billups around for a little while because he may be the bridge coach just to get them to the playoffs and then move off of him after they become better. Kind of like what I think is going to happen in Detroit with JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, well, either way it goes, shout out to the Portland Trail Blazers. They've just looked a whole lot better than what a lot of people expected. Definitely what I expected. So shout out to them.
Suck,
hopefully those young players keep getting better.
They do not suck.
I don't know. To Ox's point, maybe a playoff push. You never know. You just never know nowadays. But shout out to our Hall of Famers, Cobra Son of Raditz, Cheese, Vale, Multi Kenny, 40 Cal, and Tyrese Williams. Those are the Hall of Famers. Those are the GOATs. Salute to you guys. And if you're not a member, become a member. And if you don't know which tier to join, be like those guys and be a Hall of Famer. We got some super chats, y'all. So let's see what the people got to say to us. Love for Dina said Ant forever owns book, Bill and KD.
I know we got to get to our power rankings at some point, but
oh no, we doing that tomorrow.
Are we going to talk about how bad Phoenix is? I mean, this team is garbage.
What is there to say that hasn't been said? They suck, clown.
They do 100%, Mars. That is a bad team, and I felt like we'll talk about them tomorrow when we get to our power. But Phoenix is awful. That's a bad team, and I had them 9th in the Western Conference before the season started. I don't think Phoenix is making the playoffs. Forget the play-in tournament. I don't think they're making the playoffs at all. That's a bad team.
Chill. I said this last week, and I think I more so asked the question: which team was more disappointing, or who's the most disappointing team in the league? And to me, it's Phoenix. Now, obviously, you could throw the Sixers in there, but the Sixers have reasons why they've suffered injuries, and they added new pieces and stuff like that. This Phoenix team, for the most part, they've been healthy, and for the most part, they brought back the same core unit as last year. They just got worse.
They lost
to me, they're the biggest disappointment in the NBA.
They lost 8 of their last 10 games. I was huge on Tyus Jones, but the more I watch him, I was wrong about him. The more I watch him, he's a backup league guard. That's what he is. More than anything, he's a guy who supplements your starting point guard. He comes in, he'll give you 20, 25 minutes. I think he would be great on the Knicks. Take Campaign out of that lineup and put Tyus Jones in that lineup. I think that they're better. I think he's a better passer. I think that I think he's a better scorer, but he's a backup league guard. He is not a league guard on a team that's trying to vie for going deep in the playoffs. He's not. I think over the last 6 games, he's shooting something like I want to say 2 for 18 on the long ball. I mean, with the exception of the last 2 games that they played, I think he's shooting like 2 for 18 on the long ball. He's like 3 for 20 from the floor. No, he's garbage. No, the Phoenix Suns are bad. They get nothing from their 5-man, nothing in the hole, nothing. And they supplement that with Bobo's skill set looks like they should be better. That's just a bad team all the way around.
MP13 with the members chat. He said Jimmy needs to be consistent, not really carry.
Yeah, you guys throw the word carry out a lot. I don't think people need to carry to win. If you need to carry to win, then your team's just not good. So,
but at some points though, Mars, you do got to have a level of carryability.
Yeah, there's times when you step up. There's times like where guys don't have a gun, you got to step up. But that being your consistent method of winning, that's not going to be sustainable. Right. But yeah, Jimmy in a given game where Steph don't have it going or guys don't have it going, can he step up and make the difference? Yeah. Steph Curry, can he do that? Yeah. But that being your go-to, like we need this every game, we need someone to carry us to win. You're not going to win that way. So
I agree with you on that, Mars. And more so when I say carry like that, I'm more so saying, and I'm not saying that you were, talking about me. I'm just want to just point because I use the word carry. I throw it out there, but I'm more so mean it as you got to be the rock. Like when I said that about Christian Brown yesterday, it's like he might not have been the best player or whatever, but he was the one giving them that the consistency. Somebody to be the rock throughout the, at least the first 3 quarters. You know what I'm saying? Keep us alive. And I think Jimmy can do that. If Steph's having a cold day, game 2, game 3, I think Jimmy can consistently score, get buckets, keep him alive, and wait, like come on, Steph, like heat up. And then if Steph fourth quarter comes and now it's hidden. That's more so what I mean. I don't mean like he's the guy that's going to go for 48, 12, and 12. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just got to be our foundation.
But Mars, you've made it clear to me that if we can get Steph Curry to turn into 22 Steph Curry or maybe even 21 Steph Curry, well, we already know who the Celtics, the Warriors are as a team. Like before they get buckets, they aren't very good. But at some point, you're going to have to raise your level of play, and you're going to have to throw this unit on your back for multiple games in order for us to get to where we're going to get to. Because one, this team hasn't been together for as long as we'd like for them to be together. So there's going to be some continuity issues at some point. We already talked about when the playoffs start, how we hunt your deficiencies and the things that you do wrong. And I've said this to you time and time again, Mars, no matter how much I X and O you, when we get into the playoffs, especially in the meat and potatoes of games, at some point, I need you to go get me buckets consistently. I need you to do that, which means that at some point, Curry or buckets is going to have to carry. That's going to have to happen.
Okay. I agree, but okay.
Kundrill became a YouTube member today. Shout out to my dog Kundrill for joining back up. Appreciate you. And shout out to everybody else that's become a member today. Your guy, Boss Man, has been around for 9 months and said, I genuinely don't see how the Nuggets are contenders. Your guy, Boss Man, couldn't agree more.
We just saw them play the Celtics. All right, I get that part, no doubt. We saw them play the Celtics, and we still gotta see the counter when y'all play the Lakers again, Swipa.
I think next week at some point they play the Thunder twice this weekend, and then they play.
We're supposed to be watching it on Playback, the 14th, March 14th in Denver.
The Lakers game or the OKC game?
Lakers
and Nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're watching that on the main stage. Chill. March 14th. Okay. Y'all pull up. Swiper. Would love for you to be there while your
He'll be taking his notes.
Swiper's a notes-taking guy. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why, I'm not. You just want me to sit there and look at you?
Man, that fool ain't taking on notes. He doodling, drawing and stuff.
Ox, that was your study style. I was not intelligent enough to get away with that, so I have to take copious notes.
Making little my problem when I used to take notes, the reason I had to stop taking notes because when I was taking notes, I would take too many notes. I was writing down everything they said. I'm copying, some Mars, they used to have these things called overhead projectors, right? And the teacher would write on them and they'd flash onto the whiteboard behind us. I'm talking about I was in there like write all of this down. And half of that wasn't even on the test. Man, I'm like, man, I'm better off just listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Antoine El Hosran sent through a members chat and said the Wizards are better / will be better than the Hornets. Y'all agree?
Yes.
I didn't watch a second of
Wizards
that game.
are better than the Hornets?
Yes. They're the worst team in the league. I thought we was doing that. I thought we was doing that the power rankings today. The Hornets, they're the worst team in the league. They're garbage. trash.
They are not worse than the Wizards, but
They are garbage, Mars.
It's the second year in a row where you refuse to say the Wizards are the worst team in the league. And I don't know what it is,
team is garbage.
but it's bothering me because they've been the worst team in the league for 2 years, and you refuse to admit it.
I couldn't give you last year, Mars. I seen a team lose almost 30 games in a row.
And they were still
do that, Mars.
Even if Detroit was better than them, just for that sorry, pitiful shit that they did for 30 straight
games.
games.
That one's fine. That one's fine. Like, I disagree. I think Wizards were the worst team last year, but at least Detroit, they had an argument. Like that losing 400 games in a row is bad. So I get it. There's no way you think the Hornets are worse than the Wizards. There's no way.
I'm watching.
The Wizards are the worst team in the NBA. There's just no way.
The thing about it for me is it's like the Hornets still have LaMelo. Even if he plays 1 out of every 3 games, they still got LaMelo. The Wizards just don't got. They don't even got hope over there.
Just so you know, in the Washington, not the Washington Wizards, Charlotte, in last month, they lost 12 of their last 14 games by an average margin of 15 a game. They're getting smoked by everybody,
in the tank,
including a 3-game losing streak where they lost by an average margin of 41.
Oh, yeah. You see what we did.
The worst in NBA history, I believe.
They are terrible. This Charlotte team is garbage.
Terrible, yes.
Trash.
And Charlotte are 4-0 against the Wizards. So good for them.
Charlotte is not 4-0. The Wizards just beat them a couple of nights ago. In fact, went into Charlotte and smoked them. They went in there.
No, I mean the Wizards are 4-0 against Charlotte. That's what I meant. Sorry. The Wizards are 4-0 against Charlotte.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. The Wizards have 11 wins, 4 of them against Charlotte.
Garbage.
Well, then they got to be better than Mars.
They might be a good matchup. Cool. In terms of the better team in the league, respectfully, they can be 4-0 against the Hornets, and then they're 7-48 against the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't
wait. That's good. That's good right there, Mars. Because I like the when we talk about what's better. I like
better y'all though.
Yeah, I like to eventually get to the head-to-head. So if we're talking about like teams, just specifically teams, it's more important when we're talking about who's better. Like, what's more important is what I do against the rest of the league or what I do against you.
Well, when we're talking about the best teams in the league, I think what you do against the league is important. When you're talking
It's
about
more
head-to-head, when you're talking about head-to-head, who's a better matchup for who? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to anyone in them. I haven't watched one dribble of any Charlotte Wizards game. I don't know anything that's happened in any of those 4 games. Shout out to the Wizards for winning all 4 of them. I couldn't tell you how they won any of them. I don't know.
I don't know if
but
you
yeah, maybe they have that matchup. Maybe they have that matchup. Cool. You ask me who the worst team in the league is, it's still the Wizards. They might be better than Charlotte head-to-head, but at the end of the day, both of them are in the NBA. And if you ask me where they stack up in the NBA, the Hornets might be 29 and the Wizards are 36.
I'm with you.
They got 36. To your point.
I didn't even hear that.
Against the rest of the teams, like you just said, what did you say? 7 and
48.
What? So 7 and 48. Okay, so the Wizards are 10 and 45. So they got 3 more wins. They still garbage. They still trash. And on top of them having 3 more wins, we beat y'all 4 times. So we getting punched in the face and we getting stomped on the regular, but so are you, and we stomping you.
But cool. That's why the Hornets can be the second worst team in the NBA. They're not the worst team in the NBA. The worst team in the NBA is the Wizards. They're lost in net rating. They're lost in net rating. They have the worst offense in the NBA, and they have the second worst defense in the NBA. If that's not a formula for the worst team in the league, I don't know what is. They suck. The
second worst defense.
They suck. The worst offense and the second worst defense. At least the Hornets are 15th in defense. The average of something.
Okay, so all you did, because what we're doing right now is we arguing about who the ugliest chick is, right? And all you did was put some gear on her. She's still garbage. That chick is whack. She's still whack. Give me a break. You tried to make her fresh. No,
hey,
just put some
ugly bitches.
The Wizards right now have
ugly women.
The Wizards right now have the 5th worst net rating of all time.
Garbage.
They're an all-time bad team. All-time bad. Like there shouldn't be a conversation. The only teams with a worse net rating than the Wizards this year are the 93 Mavericks, the 2012 Bobcats, the 98 Nuggets, and the 2000 Clippers. They're the only teams that have a worse net rating than the Wizards. The Wizards suck. Bad basketball.
Man,
very bad.
Talk about putting the wig on a pig.
That's That's all you doing. That's it.
All right, cool. That wig can
wig
help.
and
I'm gonna
lipstick.
tell you,
That's
that wig
it.
can
That's
help.
all you doing. Still a pig.
So
It's
is it a
bad
gap?
product.
Is it definitely a gap between these
To
two
me,
teams?
yes, the Wizards
And-
are in all-time bad territory. The Hornets just suck. The Hornets are just a regular sucky team.
No, I'm
The
talking about a
Wizards are
gap.
an all-time sucky team.
So you think it's a gap between the Wizards and the Hornets?
Yes, I think there's a gap between the Wizards and the rest of the league. If you ask me, there should be 29 teams in the NBA. The Wizards are not an NBA team. They're that bad. They suck.
For this season, I think
I need Wizards fans in the chat to confirm, because I know they're watching these games with depression. If they get the 5th pick, watch out for suicide rates in Washington. It will be bad.
Crazy.
Wow.
You know how
Which-
bad
Well, if they get the what pick?
the 5th pick.
instead of the number one.
So the
You can't be
NBA
this
should
bad
rig
to get
it.
the 5th pick. You can't be
They
this bad
should
to
they
get
should rig it and give them the number one pick. Just had a
They
60.
deserve something. They deserve something, because this is bad.
and
Nah,
again,
you got to give him the 3rd pick.
and again, again, remember what the power ratings are about, Ron. The power ratings are about what you did over how long?
The last month.
Last
All
month.
right, over the last month. Now, don't get me wrong, Mars. I can't argue the fact that the Washington Wizards are losing by an average margin, I think 13 a game. That's double what Charlotte is losing by. Okay, I won't argue that part. But over the last month, this is what I'm thinking about. Over the last month, the Charlotte Hornets have been abysmal, absolutely terrible, losing by an average margin of 15 a game over the last month. They're giving up, I think they're giving up 130, almost 130 a game. They're terrible, absolutely atrocious. And on top of that, they lost to Washington, in your estimation, an all-time worst basketball team, all time. Like, this team isn't bad over the course of, I don't know, the last 15 years. No, in NBA history, this is one of the worst teams. Washington has beaten them 4 times. Over the 4.
Like, if you are truly going off the last month, like you say you are, the Wizards went 5-7. Does that mean you're gonna have the Wizards at like 22?
I'm not gonna have the Wizards.
Okay, so it's not off the last month. Because off the last month, they're 5-7. They've been better than like Phoenix. Are you gonna put the Wizards above Phoenix?
I'm so glad we're gonna talk about Phoenix, because oh my god,
You have the Wizards above the Suns.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Okay,
No,
so
I
that's
did
my
not say that.
point. It's not just off the last month, because if it was based off
Sure.
just
Do you have the Wizards above the Suns?
I do not have the Wizards above the Suns.
If
I do
it
have
was
them
based
below
off just
some
the
of
last
teams.
month, you would have had the Wizards a lot higher. You would have had the Wizards in like the low 20s, because they went 5-7.
I think they won of their last.
They
6
even had a
games.
little 3-game win streak.
That's what I'm about to
The
say. I think they won 4 of their last 6 games, something like that.
Like, but you didn't put them. You probably put them at 29 or 28.
Something like that.
So it wasn't just off the last month. So
It was since February 1st. That's
Then
what
why
I'm
did they
going off of.
go? So if they went 5-7, why do you still have them in the bottom 3?
Well, wait a minute. There's other teams. There's teams that have not more than the last month.
Yes,
No,
so
Mars.
it's fine to just say
That's why I
more
got
than the last
Charlotte
month.
ahead. That's why I got Charlotte behind them. For that reason, right
just
there.
the Hornet 5-7 is close to 500. They
Yes, it
nearly
is.
played 500 basketball for a month. Why are they in the bottom 2?
Because there's other teams because we got to put Philly in there too.
That's all I'm saying. There's
We
teams
gotta
that have
put
had
Philly in
by
there, too.
far worse month than the
We have
Wizards,
to.
but you won't put the Wizards above them because you know how bad the Wizards
So
are.
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Mars. Ron, I might have to change my power rankings because we going off
Yeah,
the
go
last
ahead. Go
month.
put the Wizards at 18.
I gotta push the Wizards up because we going off the last
No,
month.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
Chill.
This ain't about the whole season.
But
right?
hold on,
Again,
no,
this ain't
chill.
about
But
the
hold
whole
on.
season. This
The
is about
last
month.
month is a heavy indicator, but it's not. You're ranking the teams on where they currently are. It's not just about the you got to look at like the last month is the closest that we get, but you still have to put everything into perspective.
No,
and
let
use
me put the
context.
Wizards at 18. Go ahead. Put the Wizards at 18. The worst team we've seen in the last decade. Go put them anywhere but the last place. Go ahead.
Shout out the Wizards, man.
Stinky team.
And with that being said, tomorrow I am like the bottom 5 teams. We just talked about the Wizards and the Hornets enough for the whole bottom 5 teams.
So we don't want to talk about the Raptors and the Jazz?
No. When we do the power rankings tomorrow, it's going to start with 5 teams at the bottom, and then we're going to go from there.
The people want to
That's a
hear
good
their
idea,
teams get
bro.
spoke about.
No, they don't, Mars, because
We
when
never
do that,
talk
when
about
we
the
do
top
that-
10 teams.
Exactly.
So why
The
don't you
top 10
start from
30
like
seconds.
the top?
Go from one day.
No, because we have
There's no
it has to be
suspense in that.
revealing. Yeah, it has to be
There
suspenseful, you
is.
know? We got to
Who's
get the people what they
23rd?
want.
Ooh, like that's the suspense.
Listen,
Ron, you should go as far to have the first.
Everyone knows the power rankings tomorrow is going to have the Wizards and the Hornets in the bottom 3, probably alongside the Jazz. That's probably going to be.
We don't need to talk about that.
And then the top 3 is going to be OKC, Cleveland, and Boston. We also know that.
Maybe.
No, we know that's the top 3.
We don't know.
We know that's the top 3.
But the 4 through 11, Mars.
Okay, so I'm just saying, save the suspense. Go fill out the top 3. It's OKC, Cleveland, and Boston. Fill out the bottom 3, and then we talk about the middle. Use my suspense. Everyone knows the top 3 is going to be OKC, Cleveland, and Boston.
Yeah, but that's a better conversation than us talking about what we're talking about right now.
Then start with the top 3 so that we can give them the due. Because we always get to the top 3 and we talk about it for 3 minutes. Because we spend 20 minutes on 21.
Or we could just do it the way Ron said, to get that first 5 out the way today, and we don't ever got to talk about it.
Yeah, but then we're gonna spend a long time talking about the Chicago Bulls versus the Sixers. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
I
gotta go revise my I gotta go revise my
Warriors see Quentin Grimes? Come on, man.
That's what I gotta do.
Why, Chill?
So he can move the Wizards up.
Yes, I do. I gotta move up the
Wizards. That's insane.
Yo. I got because
Chill. I gotta go. You don't have to do this.
I'm 100% doing
Chill.
it.
Oh
the Wizards
God.
The Wizards top 20 team over the last month. I'm doing it.
Top 20?
Top 20 team.
They get Chris Middleton now. They are playing caliber team.
I understand possibly top 29, but top 20 is crazy.
Hawks, they might be making a late
considering over the last month. Over the last month, considering what other teams have been doing, I don't think that they Charlotte bad, but Phoenix is definitely.
There's no way you can put this team
Shout out
higher
Chris
than 29.
Middleton,
They've won 11 games. They are clearly no debating the worst team in the NBA. I don't care if they went undefeated in the month of February. They've lost the most games in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And again, what the power rankings go? What do the power rankings go off of?
They played 59 games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
And won 11
have a worse record than the Wizards in February. Go ahead and put.
They are 11-48.
We move teams. First of all, when we do the power rankings, we move teams up and down over the last month, considering what they are. We don't go off the whole season. We don't do that.
But everything's put into context.
Okay.
Everything's put into context.
And put the Wizards above the Rockets. They have a better record.
When hey, don't tempt me, Mars.
No, go ahead. I'm with you. I want this. Go ahead, put the Wizards above the Rockets.
I'm not doing over the last month. I'm not going to do that. No,
they have a better record. Put them above Orlando, the Clippers. Put them above all of them. They're better than them in February.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll see exactly where Chill has them in the rankings tomorrow, and the cat's out the bag. So you guys do know tomorrow we will be doing our power rankings. So it's going to be interesting to see where teams lie. All right, 2K God sent through a members chat and said JJ and Dorian Finney-Smith over Scam and Russell. LA fans beat the delusional allegations.
I don't even think Lakers fans thought that defense would be this good.
If you did, you lying.
No. Yeah, they might have thought the team would be good, which I'm fine with. They didn't think they would be this good because of that defense. I refuse to believe they thought that. But
they were really big on like Vandal coming back and Dorian.
The best defense in the league, Oaks.
Well, I mean,
without Anthony Davis,
is it really the best defense in the league?
Statistically, it is.
Hey, right. I mean,
over Oklahoma City,
GOAT King James tried to tell y'all, and y'all didn't want to listen. So you know what? We gotta get that brother back on here because Johnny.
So you saw victory lap and AD was the problem.
You tried to tell us it did nobody want to believe you. They all called you crazy except for me. So Johnny, you know what? I gotta give you your flowers.
Okay, first of all,
did we see Dallas's defense in that one half that AD played?
Nah. Let me get
that defense looks very anchored.
They looked superior with him,
but it was even because there was a lot of guys in the chat and just all over that were really talking about wait till Vandal comes back. He changes everything on the defense. And then when they got Dorian Finney-Smith, They were big on that. So I do think Lakers fans thought their defense was going to be pretty good. Probably not to this level, no, but I think they were, very optimistic about the level that their defense could reach with those two guys.
No, this could.
Do not disturb Rick. Sent through a members chat and said, "Who is the scariest team for OKC in the West?"
Dallas.
I think it's Dallas.
Dallas. Yep. More than any team.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I just feel like their defense and the fact that as foul prone as Hartenstein can be. I mean, I think Anthony Davis can take advantage of that. And he always plays good against Chet. And I think in terms of the perimeter defense, I feel like they can match what Oklahoma City is doing. So, and I don't know what it is about PJ Washington in Oklahoma City, but he just gets busy against them. He just does. Now, don't get me wrong. I doubt that the game plan is going to be this season. We're going to leave PJ wide open again. No, they're not doing that again. Okay, I'm confident they're not going to do that again. But he just has a lot of confidence against them.
We got a new YouTube member. This person goes by the name of Mama3 Light GVWD PS4 God. Shout out our newest YouTube member. Salute to you. We got some more super chats. One is from Jay Got Game. He said, Dub Knicks, Mars, Tibbs took your advice. Deuce being the point of attack defender with the starters was definitely paying off during the clutch time.
Shout out to the Knicks in clutch time. Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year. Shout out to him. OG Anunoby, game winners. Shout out to him. Deuce McBride defense. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Tibbs for watching the panel.
Karl Anthony Towns getting fried. Shout out to him.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mars, because I'm watching that Knick game yesterday, and we all know that when you are playing pick and roll, you got to give something up, right? There has to be something that you got to give up. I'm going after the Knicks with Davion Mitchell, not the Knicks, I'm sorry. The Heat with Davion Mitchell. They did everything that they could to put Cat into action. And I'm going under the screen on Davion Mitchell all day long. But instead, Jalen Brunson is going around the screen. What that does is that leaves Cat in drop. Cat can't come up because Davion Mitchell's going to blow right by him. If you put him in drop, now he just darts right to Cat. And Cat can't guard that either. Well, if you go underneath the screen, which Jalen Brunson wasn't doing yesterday and going more over the top of the screen, if you go underneath the screen, you're basically daring Davion Mitchell to shoot. That's the thing that you're giving up. I didn't understand why they didn't do that more. That was what I was trying to make sense of.
They came out with the win at least.
They won. Yeah, they won. That's because Miami's offense is just so bad. It just is. It's so bad. The Miami Heat offense is really good when they're playing fast. When they get in, when they get in transition, it's almost like what I talked about with Giannis, like turning your brain off. But when I see them get in the half court and I'm watching Spo run isolations for getting switched Cat onto Duncan Robinson, I'm about to lose my mind. That's what we're doing. We got Duncan Robinson one-on-one with Cat. That's the kind of offense we run in here? No. That's why they get so stagnant, because of stuff like that.
Fint Jones said, in the conversation is a cop-out. The conversation never been more than too deep in any generation. Really?
I don't agree with that. But yeah, I'm getting tired of the in the conversation stuff. So
yeah. We know more.
I don't know. Someone left a comment. I don't know who it was. And I thought it should have been a top 5 comment of the week. Let me find it. MD30474 said, if you asked PC what 2 + 2 equals, half of them would tell you 5 was in the conversation. Yes, I agree.
That's not the same thing at all.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Why? Because it's closer. Because it's close to 4 miles.
Things I'm hearing that are just in
Chill. That's why I say L basketball, because math is definite. Math is what it is. Basketball is not. That's why I say L basketball, because those things are so far from each other.
And at no point, at no point could 5 be 4. At no point. But basketball players can be closer to other basketball players and even better than other basketball players. That could happen. We've
So
seen
you
that
telling me
happen.
5 not in the conversation?
No, it's not.
Okay. But Jaren Jackson in the MVP conversation. Okay.
Jaren Jackson's way closer to the MVP conversation than
5 is closer to 4 than Jaren Jackson is to Shea.
Not in math. No, it's not. No, it's
Tell me I'm
not.
wrong. What's closer?
Not in math.
Run a poll, Ron. What's closer? 5 to 4 or Jaren Jackson to Jokic? What's closer?
No, there is
Incoming
no
poll.
close. No, there is no
Incoming
close in
poll.
math. There is no almost in
5
math.
to
There is
4
no
is closer
could have been in
than
math.
Triple J to Jokic and Shea.
You can't when there is math. You don't. Well, let me add the
Moss has
context
the
to
gap.
that. Or
Moss has the gap
like, let me
with
look at it
players.
this way. No.
Moss, has the gap with players been closed? In fact, not only has it been closed, has the gap with players closed completely and players have jumped other players?
Yeah, players will go better than other players before.
100%. You know what's never going to happen? 5 is never going to go over 4. That's never going to happen, Mars. 5 is always going to be 5. It's never going to move, ever. It's going to be close to 4, 100%, but it's never going to move to 3. Never. It's
So
never
by
gonna
your
happen.
estimation,
And
Chill,
Jaren Jackson
so
is never going to be the MVP.
by your estimation, Chill. So based
Oh,
on how
sure?
your logic typically works with winning and MVP conversation. So LeBron's in MVP conversation, Jaren Jackson Jr. is in the MVP conversation, Mitchell's in the MVP conversation, and
Who?
Tatum, Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, and Jayson Tatum. Are they all in the MVP conversation based on like standings and winning?
7 MVP
I don't think
conversation players.
I don't think D Mitch is.
The best record in the league? Not in the
I
MVP
think D
conversation?
Mitch is.
Yeah, I mean, he got to be,
I
right? If Jaren
absolutely
Jackson's
think
in the
he
MVP
is.
conversation.
Yes.
I mean, I guess.
He's not gonna
Well,
win.
the fourth
He
seed is
deserves
deserves some MVP
I
love.
don't think
He's not
Jaren
gonna
Jackson's
win
in
it.
the conversation. I don't think Jaren Jackson. I just want to put that out there. I think there's a conversation.
Well, I mean,
the conversation
also,
ends with probably Giannis and Jayson Tatum. Like there might be 4
Mhm.
guys. We might
y'all
could
do
get-
know the MVP conversation fluctuates. Like a
Right.
couple weeks ago, All-Star Weekend, Jaren
Yeah,
Jackson was
fluctuates
in the
between Jokic and
conversation.
Shea. Yeah, fluctuates
Well,
between Jokic and
Jaren
Shea.
Jackson was in the conversation because they were the number 2 seed. The Grizzlies are now the number 4 seed. Jaren Jackson has fallen out of the conversation.
And I
The
think
Cleveland
Swipa-
Cavaliers have hit 50 wins. They
Man,
just beat the Boston Celtics. Donovan Mitchell, hello, you went crazy that game. You have now stepped into the MVP conversation.
If you can leave the conversation this quickly, you shouldn't be in the conversation.
See, that's the thing.
I
Mars,
mean-
because to answer Swiper to answer your question, that's
I'm
exactly
with that. Much. I'm with
that's
I agree.
exactly what
It
happens.
takes what 2 games and you're out the talks. Then why am I bringing you up in the first place?
Guys have entered. Guys will enter the conversation of league MVP. That doesn't mean that they're going to win it. No, absolutely not. They're not going to win it, but they have entered the conversation to be the league MVP. And if you could continue to do this, maybe the conversation will
can
get.
LeBron win MVP
What?
this year, Chill, for you?
What does in the conversation mean to you, Chill? When someone says someone is in the conversation,
mentioning them.
okay,
You're playing at that level.
okay,
Me-
okay.
We're
Mentioning
mentioning.
them. Okay,
We're
men-
mentioning them.
Okay.
Yes.
Why would I mention someone who has no chance at winning? Why am I mentioning you? What's the point of me bringing your name up? You have no chance of actually winning the award. You have, so we're having the MVP. Let's imagine hypothetical world, right?
Mhm.
We're talking about the MVP. Ron's like, who's
Sure.
you guys MVP? Swiper says Jokic. Ox says Shea.
Mhm.
Chill says he's got Shea right now.
Mhm.
Ron says he's got Shea. And then I just come in. Oh, but Donovan Mitchell. Hey, Donovan Mitchell. I'm wasting everyone's time. Like, why am I
No,
bringing him
you're
up?
not.
What's
You're not
the
wasting
point?
time. You're not wasting time, Mars. You're bringing to light another guy that we might have overlooked. You're just
And
what you
everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, shout out to Donovan Mitchell, but let's get back to Jokic and Shea.
Well, it's
That's what's gonna
quality. It's Mars. What
But
you're
that
doing
doesn't
is
mean that
very
they're not in
important.
the
That's
conversation, though.
quality
bringing
control.
it-
That's quality control. We
That's
need
why
that, Mars.
No, you're
We
not
need-
wasting time.
Mars,
You're not
you
doing
need quality control. You need somebody to check and make sure everybody's being represented properly. Nobody's getting railroaded in this conversation. It's like a public defender. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody got to be here. You know what I mean?
Mars,
Like talk to him.
Mars, wait a minute. Mars, because that.
swear. This
No.
generation,
This-
all
no.
you guys
Oh,
care
yeah,
about
no,
is
no, man.
participation.
No, it's not. No,
Giving
no,
everyone
no.
a shout out.
No.
Oh, just have fun
That's not-
competing.
no,
It doesn't
hey,
matter
look.
if you
Not at all.
won.
Hey,
Just
Morris,
make sure you had fun.
I don't care what you
Everyone
say,
gets a
and I don't care what the
medal.
younger generation
Yay,
says.
shout out to
Jared Jackson
everyone.
deserves. Jared
Yay.
Jackson deserves all
You
the
gotta
praise
act
he
like
can get
you
this
are
year.
so against
But he's not in the
Mitchell-
conversation, though.
Donovan
Mars.
Mitchell.
It
No,
comes
I
down to
don't.
being
I
in
didn't.
the
I didn't say the
conversation.
conversation.
You're
He
in the
deserves all the praise he
conversation.
can get this
You're in
year.
the conversation. Oh, Killian Hayes. You're
So now-
in the
so
conversation.
now we Oprah?
No,
We Oprah
Mars,
with it?
that's
Yeah,
Mars. That's not.
everyone
No,
gets to
Mars.
be in the
That's
conversation.
no, Mars. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing at
That's
all.
exactly what's happening.
I don't
No,
like
that's
what
not
you're
what
implying
happened.
right now, Mars. I don't like-
Mars, when like you just to your point, you
Lying,
just
but you
mentioned
don't like participation trophies. You
you
wish
just
had
mentioned-
participation trophies.
you just mentioned that both Joker and SGA are the front runners for the league MVP. I think that's a fact. I don't think that's your opinion.
They're unanimously the top two. No one else is going to get first place votes.
I think that's a fact. However,
Giannis might get one or two.
Somebody will probably.
However, I do think that's a fact. However, we have to recognize throughout the course of the season a guy playing at a level that is MVP worthy. Does that mean that he's going to win the?
We recognize the three people who are doing it.
Does that mean that he's going to win the league MVP? That does not mean that he's going to win the league MVP. But all of a sudden, the Los Angeles Lakers are now the number 2 seed in the NBA. LeBron James over the last month and a half has been playing at an MVP level.
Yes,
So
he
because
has.
he's
Yes,
been
he has.
so because
Last
he's
month
been
and a
so
half,
because
yeah.
he's been playing at an MVP level, we now have to mention him
No, we
as
don't.
we have to
Have
mention
to,
him
because it's quality
playing as
control.
playing
No,
at an
we don't.
MVP level.
No,
Does
we
that
don't.
mean that he's going to continue to do that? No, it doesn't mean he's going to continue to do that. What it does mean is that he's doing it now. Does that mean that he's going to win the league MVP? No, it doesn't mean that. But it does mean that we recognize right now that these two guys are the guys, but this guy right here, he's playing at this level and he looks really good.
Well, I guess
And
when you say-
Chill. On top of that, he's kind of moving me.
This is the definition of participation trophies.
no, it's
He's
not.
kind of
No,
moving
The
it
me.
is
definition of participation.
well, had he been?
This is exactly what
because a
participation.
participation trophy, somebody actually gets a trophy. It's only one MVP.
Okay, participation conversation.
I'm cool with a participation conversation. That's all right.
Like we just like, oh yeah, we gotta mention you because
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
oh shout out to you.
It's
This is a
Monday,
waste of
man.
time. We talking about the MVP.
Chill. Has
So the
LeBron
conversation
played?
should be guys who
Has
can win the
LeBron played
MVP.
near as good in the last month and a half? Near as good as Jokic and SGA have?
Yes.
I think it's joke. I think as
Yeah.
SGA, I think he's been. I think he's played not close to SGA, but I think he's played as good in some areas as SGA.
Nice.
That's why he's that's why
Both-
And
that's
he's
why
played
he's
better in some
both of them?
areas too.
Both of them.
that's why he's mentioned. That's why he mentioned, and he's playing at an MVP level right now. He's in the MVP conversation. He moves up.
Chill,
It's-
is Ray
it's-
Allen is Ray Allen in the conversation for the best shooter ever?
Yes.
No, I asked Chill, not you. I asked Chill.
All right,
Is Ray Allen
Excuse me.
is Ray Allen in the conversation for the best shooter ever?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm not doing this.
Thank
All
you.
right, whatever.
Thank
Cool.
you, Chill.
Move on.
Hell yes,
Yeah,
he is.
So Ray, Clay, Dame,
If that's not a participation trophy, I don't know what it is. Like,
Ray, Clay,
Mars,
Dame, and
Mars,
Patience.
Mars, you're so
Mars.
Mars, you're so stuck on the fact that there's a guy who wins it, and then there's everybody
no,
else.
it's not about a guy who wins it. It's about the fact that Ray Allen has no case over Steph. So why am I bringing him up to just talk for the sake of talking?
He has the.
Let's waste our time saying, oh, it could be Ray Allen. Okay, go ahead and make the argument for Ray Allen over Steph. Oh, but I don't think he's better than Steph. So why the fuck did you say his name?
The reason why we said the reason why
bring him up just
the
to
reason
waste
why
my time.
No, we're
You
not
don't
just
think
wasting
he's
your time.
better?
No, that's not what it is, Mars. And I'm not wasting your time. And there's things that I feel like he is better as a shooter. Yes, I think.
Okay,
First
go
of all,
ahead.
I'm on.
Make
First
the
of all,
case
I'm on.
that Ray Allen shoots
Okay,
better than Steph.
okay. First of all, I'm on record saying. Ray Allen is the best catch and shoot player that I've ever seen. Ever. That's better than
Nothing
Bird.
supports
Better than
that
Klay
case.
Thompson.
Nothing supports
I'm-
that case.
What do you mean nothing supports that case?
Give me something tangible that supports that case.
Okay, so the fact that he has the most 3-pointers in NBA history
No, he doesn't.
he had the most 3-pointers.
Yeah, he had before. Who passed
Yeah,
him?
Curry passed him. Sure.
Okay, and that's who he's in the conversation against. So
Okay,
no.
so James is the best scorer in NBA history. So
No,
Jabbar's
no.
So Jabbar's
You
no
started
longer
the argument with he has the most threes. That's not
Jabbar's
true.
Jabbar's no longer.
You're moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not moving the goalpost. One of the main
because
reasons.
you
One of the main.
started
One of the
with Ray
main
Allen has the
reasons
most
why. No, I'm not
threes in
done,
NBA
Mars. One of the main
That's
reasons
what you
why.
started it with.
Okay,
No, he
sure.
doesn't. You just lied. He doesn't.
One of them. I'm not lying. One of the main reasons why.
You said he has the most threes in NBA history. That's
One
a
of the
lie.
main reason why when he retired, he had the most
Okay, and
threes
then
in
who passed
NBA
him?
history. One of the main reasons why he had the most threes in NBA history was because he's the best
Curry
catch and shoot
wasn't
guy
around yet.
that I ever seen. That's why.
Okay,
I'm
and
not
Steph
talking
Curry
about off
came
the
in.
dribble. When I saw Steph Curry now when I saw Steph Curry off the bounce, that's where the separation became with me. The fact that Ray Allen did it in big moments, not only did he do it in big moments, how long he did it, who he did it with, when he was in Seattle, when he was doing it, running off the screens, when he was with the Boston Celtics, cracking open threes in championship. I think he had 6 threes or 7 threes in that game 4 when they played against when they played against the Lakers in the finals in 2010. The big 3 that he hit in 2013. The fact that he's done this for as long as he's done this, he is in the conversation as the greatest shooter ever. The separation between him and Steph Curry is the fact that
why he's better than Steph.
Well, because and also he just
gave
more
me a
than
bunch of
shoot.
things that
He
makes
just was
Ray Allen
sitting
a
around
great
just shooting.
shooter. I said make the case he's better than Steph, and you said nothing about how he's better than Steph at shooting. Not one thing. You just said why Ray Allen's a great shooter, which is cool, but that's not the conversation being had. The conversation is how is Ray Allen the best shooter ever?
Okay, so
that's the conversation.
Okay,
not
what
how
we're
is
not
Ray
doing,
Allen a great shooter.
what
Make
we're
the
not
case
doing
that Ray Allen shoots the basketball better than Steph Curry. That's the case I'm asking.
He doesn't shoot the basketball better than Steph Curry because Steph Curry shoots the basketball off the bounce. However, he was in the conversation as the greatest shooter because I think he's the best catch and shoot basketball player in NBA history.
Ray was shooting
100%.
That's
what he does.
I say, is Ray Allen in the conversation to be the best shooter of all time? You say yes. I say make the case that he's a better shooter than Steph. You say he's not. Like I said,
I didn't say he wasn't. I said that Steph.
You just said that. You just said he's not a better shooter than Steph Curry because Steph Curry shoots it off the bounce. You just said that.
That's the
I said
separation.
make the case he's better than Steph Curry, and you said he's not better than Steph Curry.
Chill.
So
Ray
again,
was shooting up. Ray was shooting off the bounce too.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Mars, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make this definite, right? That's what you're trying to make.
Even you know
that's not how conversations work, though.
Yes,
no.
Who's the best? Yes, I agree.
The best shooters,
not all conversations work that way.
But that's how you want conversations to work. You want these guys,
and you're not going to misrepresent what I'm saying. No,
you're the one trying to twist my words, Mars.
No, you said word for word. He's not a better shooter than Steph Curry because Steph Curry shoots off the bounce. That was your exact words. This is what I'm saying.
But that doesn't eliminate him from the conversation as being
there are some
that doesn't
things
eliminate him
that
from
are
the conversation as being the best shooter in the world.
The MVP race is a conversation between Jokic and Shea. That's a conversation.
And
you bringing up Jaren Jackson, shut up. He's not in the MVP conversation. But Jokic and Shea, that's a conversation. There's a conversation for the best player of all time between LeBron, MJ, throw in Kareem if you want. But then if you go out of your way and say, oh, but Hakeem Olajuwon, you're wasting everyone's time. He's not in the conversation. I am not saying there isn't room for conversation.
Bill Russell in the
I am not saying there is nothing that is a conversation. I am not saying everything has a definitive answer to who is the best at something. I am not saying that. I am not implying that. What I am saying is there are certain people who aren't in the conversation for these things because they have no actual case to be at the top of said conversation. If we are having a conversation about the best shooter of all time, and you just want to tell me that Ray Allen is in the conversation, and then in the next sentence say, well, I don't think he's better than Steph Curry. So then why did you say Ray Allen's name? Because he is better. The reason
because he is better than him at other things. That's why. He might not be the best shooter, but he is better than him at other things. Okay, that's why it's a conversation. So why bring that's why it's a conversation. He is a better, in my estimation, he is a better catch and shoot. He is a better catch and shoot.
Better catch and shooter. He's also taller. He's also bigger and taller.
So is this an eye test thing? Is this an eye test thing?
It has to.
Because we can't go off the numbers because of just the difference in era. Like you just can't go off the numbers alone. That was whole conversation because once again, like we talked about before, and I don't. The only way we could talk about it basically is if you tell the truth. The fact that if Ray Allen would absolutely thrive in this NBA because I think that when I was watching Ray Allen, he was definitely shooting off the dribble as well. The amount of shots that he was taking is way less. Bro, on top of that too, let's not forget that Ray wasn't just shooting. Now, if he was more of just strictly just a shooter, I do think the numbers would be a lot closer. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, Swipa, we can't just go off the numbers. There are certain things we got to talk about. We do got to talk about how fast he was shot, the quick release of that shot, just like Steph. We do got to talk about the fact that he was 6'5", not 6'2", and he was getting the shot up a little easier. There was a lot more to it, bro. Like Ray Allen, 100,000% is in the conversation still.
Because you actually think he might shoot better than Steph. Which is fine. Yes, like, you believe that. Chill doesn't believe that, and he's still trying to put him in the conversation.
The reason why
Ray might shoot better. Like that's what Or if Ox says Ray Allen's in the conversation to him, that's fine. Because no matter how much I disagree with
think
Ox,
somebody is better, that doesn't mean that they're not in the conversation. I think that this
I'm
dude
not
is better.
saying that's what that means.
That's exactly what you're saying. That's exactly what it means.
I'm going to say what I'm saying again, because you're not listening. What I am saying is, if I think someone is better, that does not mean the person I think who is worse than him is not in the conversation.
That's what you're doing, Mars.
No. What I am saying is, when it is so clear that this guy is better, this guy is not in the conversation. If you ask me who was in the MVP conversation in 2016, I will say it was Steph Curry and no one else. You know why? Because it wasn't close. But if you ask me who was in the MVP conversation the next year, it was James Harden and Russell Westbrook. You know why? Because it was close. So you could have the conversation. In 2016, I would just be bringing up people for the sake of bringing them up. That's what being in the conversation is, having an actual case to come out on top, not to just bring you up because I feel like it or because you're second, so you could be first. But then when I ask you to make the argument that you're actually first, you say, well, I don't think he's first. He's just second. No, being in the conversation means you have a case to be number one. The best defensive player of all time, to me, is Bill Russell. To you, it's Hakeem. We can have that conversation. But then if someone comes in like, hey, Tony Allen, oh my God, Tony Allen, great defender. He's not in these conversations. You know why? Because he has no case over Bill Russell and Hakeem. That's all I'm saying. Which is in the conversation. You have to 100% have a case.
100%, Mars. That's fair. But I think Tony Allen is a stretch. But what I'm not doing is I'm not bringing up Tony Allen. I'm bringing up Ray Allen. That's who I'm bringing up. Yeah. I'm bringing up Ray Allen, who in my estimation is the best catch and shoot guy in NBA history. I don't think that there's a guy in NBA history, and I think he did that better.
Klay Thompson? Wait. Why is he better than Klay Thompson?
Yeah,
I'm legit.
Why is he better than Steph Curry? Because Steph can shoot off the dribble too.
Well, but Klay doesn't dribble.
That doesn't mean he's worse at catching and shooting. It just means he's more versatile. We're punishing versatility.
No, we're not punishing versatility. No, we're not.
Shoot off the dribble. He's not as good of a catch and shoot guy.
I think that Ray Allen, number one, his trigger was a lot faster than Steph Curry's. Yes, 100%.
That's not true. They tracked Steph Curry shot. He was faster.
Are you sure? Because I'm confident.
It's hard, but Ray's is harder. Ray's is harder to get to.
Ray Allen at 6'5".
He said quick trigger. He ain't say harder to contest.
At 6'5", I think it was.
The shot was faster.
So what was Steph's? Because I think Ray Allen's was like 0.2 seconds to get it off. Something like that.
That's not possible because you need 0.3 to shoot.
Something
that's just not even possible. The NBA
I saw the sport.
If Ray Allen could shoot in 0.2, then he would be breaking the laws of basketball.
I'm just trying to figure out if Klay Thompson doesn't dribble at all, why? Like, and he's primarily a catch and shoot 3-point shooter, and he's on volume like a 40 whatever. Like, why would Ray be better than Klay in that situation? Like that's what I'm trying to understand, because I think Klay might be the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter ever. Period. Because that's what he does. That's all he does, and he does it at a higher level than anybody.
And I feel like Ray did it also, and I feel like Ray
did it for several years. But
I feel like Ray did it longer. I feel like he did it on bigger state. I think he did it longer. Yes.
So Ray Milwaukee. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So he had the Bucks and Sonics for how many years was that? Were that 7 years?
He was in Milwaukee for 6 years.
Yeah,
he played in Milwaukee from 96 to 9 years. I think he played in Milwaukee till 95. Nope.
And then
from 96 until what, 04, something like that.
Mm-hmm. 05.
And 05, and then
he played here for 4 years.
He played in Seattle for 4 years, right? So with him, he didn't come in the league. He didn't come in the league as strictly a catch and shoot guy.
No, I know. I'm very familiar with
right. He didn't come in the league as a catch and shoot guy, but he was a catch and shoot guy. He could do that. He did that at a high level in Milwaukee.
He got known among younger fan bases as a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Ray was a puller. Like he was a gunner. For years. He was
off the dribble and everything though.
Yeah, but he was getting to the rim. He was dunking on people like Ray.
I ain't even talking about that. I just want to stick with Ray Allen, who primarily played off the ball just like
a true catch and shoot 3-point shooter though. Like that's when it started. Like go ahead, Ox. Maybe you disagree.
I agree with you. I was just because Chill was saying that he wanted to stick to the shooting, and I just wanted to say like Chill. I think you need to put what Swipe is saying into account in this conversation, because all of the other stuff Ray was doing for those first 10 years of his career take away from just him spotting up, shooting the ball. And I'm not saying that's all Steph did, but I'm saying Steph and that's why when we're having the conversation about people chasing Steph, I don't think catching Steph, I don't think it's going to happen because Steph dedicated himself to shooting that 3 ball. You know what I'm saying? He made that. This is the 90% of my game is shooting this 3 ball. I'm not saying the exact numbers like 90% of his shots. I'm just saying I'm standing on this 3 ball. Ray Allen had the 3 ball in his bag and was known as a great shooter, but he had so much more in his game. That's why I think the numbers are just a bad way to go in this conversation.
Right, because we live in a completely different era where the long ball is prevalent today, and you got guys shooting 8, 9 long balls a game. Ray Allen did not come from that era, even though he still was cracking the long ball at a good rate when he played in Milwaukee, when he played in Seattle, and he still was one of the best, if not the best, long ball shooter in the game. And it wasn't until he got to Boston where he became primarily a long ball shooter, and he wasn't much of a one-on-one player. And you saw how enhanced his catch and shoot ability became, even though he was still doing that in Seattle. He was doing that in Milwaukee for a lot of years, still doing that. And I think that with Steph Curry being the better shooter off the dribble, I think that's where the separation is. But catch and shoot, I think he was better than Klay Thompson.
All right, fellas, I'm about to step in. We're going to move on, but before we do, I just want to let you guys know that 80% of the people in the chat say that 5 is closer to 4 than Jaren Jackson is to SGA. There you have it.
So
all right, y'all, we got more super chats. DSG Piccolo chimed back in, and he said also, Shaden's bad defense, especially in the 4th, didn't help. That's why he got benched. Lock in, nigga. Tough stretch ahead, but we building something.
Young players don't know how to defend. Yes, you have to learn that. He doesn't know how to not turn the ball over either. He doesn't even know how to play make yet. So he has years to go, but he's going to be a very good player.
He's only in year 3, 2022 draft. Yeah, year 3.
He's a really good player. He's going to be the 3rd best player on this team when it matters. It's going to be solid.
I just want to feature him more. That's what I want to do.
I think Tamani Kamara legit has like all-star prop one day. I think that Donovan Clingan is going to be really freaking good. I like Donovan Clingan a lot. I think Shaden's going to be good, but their anchors for the team will probably be those 2. But if Shaden Sharp develops like legitimate like drive and pop and gets to the free throw line and all that stuff, like he could be a 24 points per game scorer. Like
I ain't seen a leaper like Shaden Sharp in a long time. It's very, very fun to watch.
And
he jumped high now for sure.
Ant might jump stronger, but Shaden jump higher, faster. And Shaden's a strong jumper too. It's not like he light like that.
Shaden jump higher,
bigger too.
Everyone.
Who's his player comp?
Derrick Jones Jr. I'm just thinking about hoppers. I'm thinking about dudes who.
I'm talking about player. Like I'm like.
Yeah. Okay. I can't say. I'm not sure.
He's already better than Derrick Jones Jr.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I have to think about that. Jalen Green? Mars?
Nah, Jalen Green got more wiggle to his game. That's the difference between them. Like if Shaden had like a Jalen Green, Shaden Sharp is weird because I haven't seen a jumper like Shaden Sharp in a while.
It is
but the other areas of athleticism, he's like quite far behind a guy like Jalen Green. Yeah. Like the quickness, the first step, the agility, all of those things. He's like very far behind like the uber athletic guys. But the explosiveness off the ground, he's second to none. He's like the most unorthodox athlete in that sense. That I haven't seen someone who can jump hit that high, but then be as limited relative athletically in the other areas. He's weird. So I wouldn't call him Jalen Green. I don't know who I compare him.
Well, somebody said Gerald Wallace. Somebody said Corey Brewer. I used to love Corey Brewer.
Better than him though. He just got more. They're more defensive inclined players.
Better than Gerald Wallace.
Player.
They're more defensive inclined players. Shaden is more off. He's more like Shaden's a student.
Better than Gerald Wallace.
He's not better than Gerald Wallace. He's not better than Gerald Wallace.
Not all around.
I'm saying though, like they're 2 different type of players though.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
Offensively, I think Shaden's going to be better than Gerald.
Someone said J.R. Smith, which I don't think is a terrible
comparison. I like J.R.
But J.R. could just shoot so much better.
Yeah. No, but J.R. didn't become. He became a shooter though. J.R. was a chucker.
Even in Denver, he
was a chucker. He was a shooter.
That's a different kind of thing. Yeah. He was a chucker.
He was an ill-advised shooter.
Ill-advised like a mug.
Hey, but
he ain't like.
Hey, when you see that ball go in, though, it's trouble.
clear about that. There's a difference between being a shooter in this instance and J.R. Smith. That was a chucker.
Hey,
That dude shot anything he wanted.
I'm here to tell you though, J.R. Smith, let's say he comes into the league out of high school last year, and this is his rookie year.
Horrible.
J.R. Smith gonna flame this NBA.
No, he ain't. He's
J.R.
horrible.
might be on the bench right now.
In the
right?
NBA, where you can shoot anything,
They will throw him in the G League so far.
He might be in that bench. Right?
He's Cam Whitmore. That's who he is.
Remember,
Ross.
they
He's
will
Cam
throw
Whitmore.
him
when he went to the
in
Hornets,
no, I'm
remember,
not
he
talking about
was-
as a rookie. I'm talking about like over the next 10 years.
No. You said come into the league.
said
But
he
remember,
came
when he
into
came
the
into
league.
the
Yeah,
league,
no, I'm saying he comes into the league.
the Hornets gave
I
up
didn't-
on him, and the Nuggets got him for cheap, and then he became 6 man.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. So my bad. I didn't fully say my statement. He comes into the league this year as a rookie. For the next 10 years, J.R. Smith is going to light up
Yeah,
the
he'd
league.
be a
I'm
role
not
player,
talking about
dog.
as a rookie. I'm
If
not
he
talking
gets
about.
the
JR
opportunity.
he didn't have the consistency of mind.
So why? Okay,
be
this is what I'm
anything
trying to
other
say.
than
If
that.
J.R. was able to survive in the old NBA where you needed to be smart,
And he didn't
It's
play.
illegal.
He would not play at times because of how the decisions he would make.
He could carve out a Jordan Clarkson. That's what he could do.
He
could do a Jordan-
remember,
J.R.
Ron.
Smith
Remember,
was
you
so
got to remember
nasty.
JR's
I don't
progression.
know.
He went from the Hornets, the Nuggets. He was
Yeah.
good, but then
But
they
with
traded
the
him out of the
Hornets, he was
Melo
young,
deal
though.
to the Knicks.
He was 18.
I know.
19,
He was
20.
a pup, and then he went to the Nuggets, and then he went to the Knicks, and then became more of a two-way player, and then he went to Cleveland. And
Yeah,
then-
but you just fast forwarded through everything. What was he for you guys?
He was a chucker.
He was you guys' second best scorer.
That's why
No, he wasn't. What are you yapping?
why-
Remember, he was there.
Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith.
Chauncey Billups was the second best scorer on that roster. Not even a question. And then he was there with AI. So remember the Thuggets, y'all. Everybody, the Thuggets era. The Thuggets era. Who was on that team, Ron? Remember Kenyon Martin, Carmelo, Iverson, JR, and then Nene Hilario, and then Chris Anderson. That was
Shout out
I love
Birdman.
that era.
Shout out Birdman.
But
I
J.R. Smith,
was a Nuggets fan at that moment in time.
Everybody
I
was.
wasn't Carmelo
Was that
fan.
Birdman fresh off his suspension?
Who?
Birdman.
Is that him right after he got suspended?
No, this is Birdman, but when he became Birdman, when he became
Mars talking about the PEDs. I think he's talking about that stuff.
I think that came later.
dog, man, I missed that team, man.
I don't know. All I know is
I thought
J.R.
that's when he
Smith
got
was a
suspended,
butt.
if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was earlier, but I don't know.
Wait, somebody said they've never heard the term Thuggets. This is what I'm saying. Y'all weren't around in the
To
streets.
be honest with you, Swipe it. I was today years old when I heard the Thuggets. I never
Bruh,
heard Thuggets
that
before.
in
Never heard
Denver,
that
it was
before.
the Denver Thuggets, bro. Everybody was tatted from here to here, dog. I love
Like
that
I
team,
know,
dog.
I know who the Jailblazers are. I never heard of the Thuggets. Never heard of them.
Bro, man, I'm telling y'all. That's what I'm saying. Y'all wasn't locked in the 303 streets, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. This has been my whole life, so I know every iteration of this team, bro. That was one of the funnest teams to watch. That
That team was
07-08
scrappy.
team on 2K was crazy, dog.
I was
Crazy.
heartbroken when the Lakers beat them that year.
I
Heartbroken.
wasn't. We all knew that was coming, dog. They weren't beating Kobe.
I wouldn't. I was a delusional fan. I was tight.
Well, did you? So you transitioned from the Sonics to them, or
No,
that
I
like
was
the end
still
of the
a
Sonics tour?
Sonics. I was still a Sonics fan, but even at that,
The
Yeah,
Sonics
'cause that
didn't
was-
exist. So
no, in 2009, that was our last year.
Yeah, so they were there that 7-8 time.
Yeah,
yeah, 7-8 was your last year. 08-09, it was OKC, right? KD's second year, it was OKC.
yeah.
And 08
you
was
guys
when
were,
they
yeah,
left.
you
But
guys were gone.
even the
08
year
was
before
when you
that,
guys
though.
left.
Even the year before that with AI. So I'm talking about just through this whole
Okay,
span.
that
though.
era.
Even-
That era.
Yeah, I thought that the Nuggets was that.
But they had Iverson and Melo, bro. Who didn't?
Yeah.
That was it. That's what I'm saying, Mars. You wasn't around. Like, you do all that. Like, oh, like Paul Pierce better than Melo. No, like no one thought that. Nobody believed that.
What?
Everybody thought Iverson and Melo could have won a
No
ring.
one thought that. I'm saying what I think. I don't care what people think.
Nah, bro. He still
Like,
ain't
you
good. I
know
don't
my
care
whole
about them
thoughts on
numbers.
accolades. You think I'm gonna care what the consensus opinion was? No,
I don't care
what
about the
I think
numbers.
was Paul Pierce was better. That's what I think.
Chill. Man, I'm telling you, chill. We need to do a real discussion about them 2000s one day, chill. That era was crazy, Ron. Crazy. The basketball we saw, Gilbert Arenas, man. I'm telling you, before he pulled that man,
The goofy Gilbert Arenas. Yeah, before the goofy Gilbert Arenas, he was on his way to being something special. Yes,
yeah, bro. That was crazy,
100%.
dog.
And he knows it. I'm not saying anything crazy. He knows it. Yes.
Yeah, bro.
He had just signed an extension for like $100 million, and then he got into that nonsense. Yeah,
my boy. And think about if we had social media. What do you mean he pulled a blicky out? What do you mean? What we would hit the ESPN news line, Ron? Right in the underscore. Gilbert Arenas pulls out.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
Breezy
God.
sent through a super chat and said, let's be real. Denver going to lose to another 50-win team, and OKC are smoking the West. Then the Lakers will win the West next year with Demon Claxton and Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
How long? How many teams are going to win 50 games in the West this year? 6?
I'd expect at least. Do I think Houston gets to 50? I'd hope so. I'd expect at least 5.
So the 5th seed. So who's the 6th seed? The Clippers. Can they push?
The Clippers and Warriors are 5 games back of Houston, so they'd have to win 18 of their last 22.
Never mind. Yeah.
Clippers and
top
Warriors aren't
five, so
doing it.
Oklahoma City, the Lakers,
So I think the top
Denver,
5 can
Memphis,
do it.
and Houston.
So we'll have the same as last year. Okay.
Houston has to win 13 of their last 22, so 13 and 9.
Is that ridiculous? No, I don't think that's ridiculous at all.
Memphis have to win 12. Denver have to win 11 of their last 19, I think.
Yeah.
LA will get to 50.
Denver's 23 games left.
And OKC will get to 50 tonight. They play Houston, and Houston's giving up on the game.
How many games are the Lakers winning this year?
Thompson questionable. The Lakers are 138.
So do we think they win 53?
They win at least 50 games.
15 of their last 23. I'd have to look at their schedule. It's hard for me to just say yeah, but I'd expect 50 plus. 50 is the minimum I expect for all the top 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest. So
yeah, and in the East is going to have 5 50-win teams too.
I expect 4.
The
No,
Bucks.
I expect
3.
5.
You think the Bucks are going to win 50 games?
Hey man, I said it. I said what I
The
said.
Bucks have looked like Kuz has been good for them defensively, which is nice. Jericho Sims has been nice.
Does Detroit take their spot?
Whose spot?
Detroit.
5th seed.
No, Indiana's the 5th seed.
We'll reverse it. So like this, is Detroit going to take? Well, I guess both of them. Can Detroit?
Is Detroit going to get home court? Is what you're asking?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think Detroit's comfortable.
Can I put something on your mind really quickly? And I know that you guys don't want to hear this, but Minnesota's got 33 wins, right? And they play Philly, Charlotte, Miami, San Antonio, Denver, Orlando, Utah, Indiana, New Orleans twice, Indiana again, Phoenix, Detroit, Denver, Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, Memphis, Brooklyn, Utah.
Who gave them this schedule?
Yeah, I'm just saying, Ron.
Who gave them this?
I'm just saying, Ron.
The only person that can mess
Julius
this
Randle
up.
just came back.
Yeah, I was about to say the only person that can mess this up is Julius Randle.
That's what I was about to say, Ron. These 33 games, can that turn into 50?
You think they're gonna go 17?
50? I don't know.
The schedule that I just ran off, Mars.
You think they're gonna go 33 and 29? What is that?
The schedule that I just ran off.
You think they're gonna go 17 and 3?
Again, Mars, Philly.
No. I'm saying no. They're not going 17 and 3. No, they might be favored in 17 of the games. That doesn't mean they're going to win them all. So no, they are not going 17 and 3. If Minnesota goes 17
barely
and
beat
3,
the Jazz the other day.
Yeah, if Minnesota goes 17 and 3, shout out to you, credit to you.
Yes,
I'm not putting any money on that. I'm not putting money on Minnesota going 17 and 3. I'm not.
With that being said, Chill,
they might get to like 46, 47. That'll be all right.
I could see him losing one time because you said they play Indiana twice, right?
So they play Indiana.
You said twice.
Yes, they play Indiana twice.
So I could see him losing once to Indiana. I know you said they play Denver twice. I could see him losing once to Denver.
Yep.
And then it was no other game on there where
they're gonna drop a game to some bum.
No, they're gonna drop a couple games. But I'm just saying, like the.
I don't think that they, for sure. To be honest with you, Ron. To be honest with you, I mean, again, we're not resting anybody, Mars. We're in a playoff.
It's not about rest, but sometimes you just lose.
They're 8th right now, and they're 8th right now in seeding. That's where they are, and I'm looking at their schedule. They might have the most favorable schedule of anybody.
They absolutely do. I don't even think that's close. They absolutely do. That's fine.
Who gave them
they might be able to climb into 6, depending on what the Warriors do, but they're not 50. I'm not 17 and 3 is crazy. I'm not playing on that.
All right, moving along.
Yep.
Another super chat from Ray Chronic. Ray said, tired of this West over East nonsense. The Lakers sitting at the 2 seed in the West and wouldn't beat any of the top 4 teams in the East in a series.
I think they beat the Knicks. I think they beat the Knicks under Bucks.
They went into Madison Square Garden and smoked the Knicks, and I do think that they beat the Knicks.
They don't want it with us.
You said the Lakers won't beat the who?
With us.
Any of the top 4 teams in the East. I think they beat the Knicks and the Bucks. Cleveland. Cleveland, Boston, and OKC are in a different tier to the rest of the league. I'm leaving them out of it. I don't think anyone out west other than OKC can beat Cleveland or Boston. But I think the Lakers could beat everyone else in the East. So, but I also think like the Knicks could beat them and the Bucks could beat them. But I would pick the Lakers, is what I'm saying.
All right. MP13 said it's really crazy how Steph can play with anyone that has a halfway decent basketball IQ. They just fit so seamlessly, so quickly.
I remember him wanting to choke Jordan Poole out though. And Steph don't look like a violent dude, but there was plenty of times where I seen him wanting to choke Jordan Poole out.
You can't play with low basketball IQ, guys. So bad portability because apparently half the league is stupid. So that means he can't play with half the league.
Erie said OKC is the only contender in the West because no other team can beat the Celtics or the Cavs.
That's just so gas. Like the Lakers already beat the Celtics. Just to be clear about this, like the Lakers have already done it. Like I think
they beat them on Christmas, right?
Yeah,
I think they beat them on Christmas.
I think the Celtics should be favored. I just think we're just pretending over here. I legitimately.
Well, they played them on Saturday. Them on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see. I just think
I think they can lose. I don't think they're going to. I think the only team that has slightly favorable odds against Cleveland and Boston is OKC. And I don't favor OKC against Boston, but I think they have like what 57-43 like type odds. Like I think it's close. Everyone else, I don't think it's particularly close. Like it's like 80-20.
I'll take 60-40.
So it's like I said, they're a tier above the rest of the league in my opinion.
Jay with the super chat. Jay said, Old Town talking about how they can exploit the Warriors role players during the postseason. Can't you say the same for the Nuggets?
Well, the reason why I said that is because I was thinking about I was talking about the Warriors. And the Nuggets, their stars are not as aged as the Warriors stars are. Because I'm thinking if you end up exploiting what the Golden State Warriors do and taking their rotation guys out of a series, now that means that Curry and Butler and buckets and those guys got to do more, which I would have no problem with that if they weren't as aged as they are. Joker's in his prime. Jamal Murray is in his prime. So that's why I was bringing up about that's why I was worried about with Curry and buckets, because they're long in the tooth.
I mean, I do want to say, Ron, to your trolling, I do want to give a shout out to Murray. I think Murray, he's been playing really well lately, and he was very good in the second half.
Ooh, Les?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Shut up.
I'll play both. I'll play both the stars of the team.
Shout out Les though. He did turn it on a little bit.
I don't know where that name ain't gonna stick. That name ain't gonna stick.
I'm gonna just put it like this. I'm not taking a Les as much on Les. All right.
Got you.
I didn't even get to take the Jalen Green list tonight because Ron wanted to do a bunch of goblins. So
that's what I'm saying.
Shout out to Goblins, man. 20-36. Hey, that's good money.
Although I would expect Jalen Green would have to shot track tonight, so maybe the less probably wasn't a hit anyway. But
Ron, what's the worst name? El Host or Lester?
El Host.
Well, one's true and one's not. So
what you mean?
Hey, I didn't say which one is which. I just said one's true and one's not. That's all I said.
Look at you.
Interpretation.
Drip Bayless said, rank these players in today's game. Nash, Reggie, Bird, Worthy.
Bird with a gap. And then I would say in this era,
it was like this.
Gap.
Like Bird.
Bird might be the best player in the world right now. Peak Bird. Yeah. And then we get me personally, I'm probably putting Nash, but I think Worthy has an argument there. And then way over here, Reggie Miller.
I'll go Bird.
So what you're saying is that Reggie Miller's not in the conversation?
No. Like he's significantly worse than all those players.
All of them. No.
Chill, am I tripping?
I don't agree with that at all. But
yeah, I think he's tripping.
And with the three ball the way it is, Reggie Miller
with James Worthy.
I don't think you know how good I think Reggie Miller was. So that's
man, bro.
I think
the super chat said today.
Yeah, we'll rewind.
And we're not comparing those two as players.
I think Reggie Miller in his time isn't the worst player there. So I mean, I just think
he's not the worst player there.
Yeah, I don't think Reggie Miller in his time is the worst player there. So
who's the worst player here?
I think it's James Worthy.
The reason why is because James Worthy, he played fast and he needed people to get him involved in the game. Like,
that's
when
crazy.
When I think about Steve Nash, like Steve Nash is awesome today. Steve Nash,
he's getting mismatch hunted to hell. So
he 100% is getting mismatch hunted. No doubt about that.
He might be the worst defender in the league.
No, he's not. He's not.
Might be.
But I was Steve Nash right now. He would be giving you a cool 19, 12, and 2 and 3.
A poor man's Trae Young.
A poor man's Trae Young.
Trae Young. He's way better than Trae Young.
And just so you know, that 19
Trae.
For the record, that Swiper, you underselling him on that 19. That 19 is more like 23 or 24.
No, I know. I'm saying it's still 19, but I'm saying it's 19-12, but it's like a 68 true shooting. Like a 50-40-90. That's what he's a 50-40-90 right now.
On,
like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like
he's probably like 54-43, like 90 something. That's probably what he is. But I don't know what points he averages. Like, Steve Nash value isn't how many points he puts out. Like, there's no difference with Steve Nash if he's averaging 17 or if he's averaging 21. Like, it's not going to change the game. But yeah, Steve Nash, his defense would be so problematic in today's game.
Would he be worse than Trae Young?
No one's worse than Trae Young.
Anthony Simons is worse than Trae Young. But
gosh, no, he's not.
Steve Nash effort defensively was there, but he was just so unimpactful.
If he plays with the Pacers right now, replace him with Hallie, and you got Neesmith, Benny, Pascal.
The Pacers are a better team.
100% they are.
But he's so far and away the weak link defensively. Hallie's actually,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hallie's improved defensively. Like,
Hallie's made that much worse than Tyrese Halliburton, bro. I watch Hallie all the time.
Hallie's improved defensively, and Hallie Hallie with his length alone can make plays that Steve Nash just can't. Like,
Hallie is lost.
But I don't think Hallie's a good defender, but Hallie just with his size and dimension.
What length?
Yes.
He's like 6'5", like a 6.
He ain't
6'5". Yes, he is.
He ain't 6'5".
How big is he?
Swiper, what?
Swiper, is he bigger than me? Is he bigger than me, Swiper?
Yeah, I mean, he probably you know.
So bigger than Chill is 6'5".
Yes. Chill 6'3" for real though. I'm saying like D Mitch and Chill
bigger than 6'3".
You shrink him with age.
Bigger than 6'3".
Shrinking with age.
But back to your point, Mars, about mismatch hunting. So in Indiana, with Neesmith, with Nembhard, with what's the kid that I love over there? Matherin. I mean, he's got guys to protect him on that wing. He 100.
Yeah.
He 100% has guys to protect him as a defender, no doubt. And I'm imagining what Obi Toppin looks like with Steve Nash.
No, Nash is better than Hallie. Nash is not. Respectfully, if you want to say Hallie, you want to say Trae Young.
Ron, don't ever talk about Hallie.
Nash is a sound. All I did was make a sound.
Way above those two.
Is there a point guard? Matter of fact, let's keep it a hundo.
He's just atrocious.
Is there a point guard better than Steve Nash right now in the league?
Yes.
At his apex, which one?
Yes.
Which one?
Don't say.
I can't give.
Is it Luka a point guard?
I'm higher on Steve Nash than everyone. So I'm.
Is it Luka a point guard? Okay, so let's cross him off the list. Is it Shea a point guard?
I'm not crossing him off the list. No.
How? No, tell me how though. So if I can, if Luke, if
I told you, Ron, I think Steve Nash is like
he might be the best league guard in the game. If
you don't know how good I think Steve Nash is.
So you think Steve Nash would be better?
You don't know how good I think Steve Nash is.
Okay, now I'm asking you.
Who's the better shooter?
If Steve Nash ain't clipped today, Ron, if Steve Nash,
I'm not getting clipped.
Ron,
who's the better shooter?
Ron. I know.
Ron, look at me, Ron. Ron, look at me, Ron. Ron, look at me.
You don't know how good
if
I think
Steve Nash was playing today, he is the best lead guard in the game.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
See, Chill said it. Chill got the clip.
No, he is not.
If Steve Nash is playing in 2024-25, Steve Nash is the best lead guard in the game. None of these dudes pass like Steve. None of these dudes is passing like.
Yeah,
Steve
they
Nash.
do. Yes, they do. Y'all just don't. Y'all know. Y'all just don't want to give him love. Trae Young. What Trae Young is doing. That's the same thing Steve Nash did, if not better. And you know what? And you know what? You know why I'm gonna give the answer to Trae Young? You know why I'm gonna give the answer to Trae Young? Because he's passing to guys like Dyson Daniels. Because he's passing to a rookie, Zachary Ricochet. Because he's passing to Jalen. Oh, I forgot. Jalen Johnson's injured. He's passing to Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu. Not Amari Stoudemire, not Sean Marion, not Jason Richardson, who also was the dunk champion, could jump out the rim and grab any alley-oop, not Leandro Barbosa, not all of these shooters. He doesn't have a souped-up Mike D'Antoni offense. So you know what? I don't think that he's a better passer than Trae Young.
Even though
Now, do I think he will be good today? Yes, but he's not better than Trae Young. He's not better than Luka Doncic. He's not better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I just heard is having a better offensive season than Kevin Durant was, or it's comparable, whatever the case it was.
Who said that?
You said it.
I did.
You said it.
That's
so
the thing about that's Ron. That's the thing about me and you. I listen. You don't. I never said that.
So what was the comparison? It was a comparison.
It was about the season.
Okay, and we don't compare no Kevin Durant season.
Don't shift the conversation from
Nash.
Steve Nash to Trae Young. Why is Trae Young better than Steve Nash?
I just told you.
No, but tell me.
But like you, I don't listen.
Because of the shooting volume. Is it because of the shooting volume?
No, I didn't even talk about shooting. I talked about all passing.
Well, how is he a better passer than Steve Nash?
Swipa, here's what you can do. When we're done, you can rewind the episode and listen to that whole thing.
I just want to hear it in detail because I was trying to look up some stuff for him.
I
was looking stuff up. I was looking stuff up to try to give you an argument.
Just say that. Just say you weren't listening.
I wasn't. I was trying to find stuff for him.
Okay, so you want to be like Ron, don't listen. And then turns out you weren't listening.
I was trying to help Ron out. I was looking up some Trae Young stuff to see, well, am I tripping? Am I drunk? But then I looked at it. I said, no, I'm completely sober. Steve Nash was just better.
Yeah, maybe Steve Young passed better. Maybe Steve Young, not Steve Nash. I'm telling you.
So the year that Steve Nash won the league MVP in the back-to-back season in 2006, he didn't have Stoudemire that whole season. Just so we clear, Ron. So since you want to bring
what
up
about the other MVP?
Okay, the year before that.
All right.
Yeah, in 05. Now, with that being said, the players that he had, Sean Marion. Okay, here's the difference. As much as Okongwu, as much as Dyson Daniels, as much as these guys rely on Trae Young, those guys relied on Steve Nash to get them the basketball. Those guys were not one-on-one guys.
Okay,
those guys were not guys that
Shaq relied on Kobe to get him the ball too at times.
Okay, he did rely on him.
You see the comparison?
However,
just because I rely on you to give me the ball doesn't mean that there's a substantial gap in talent and capabilities in players.
But even with that being said, though, Ron, Steve Nash was responsible for their offense. Like Shaq could get his offense at times. He could take the ball off the glass and he could go with it. Shaq could do that. Shaq could take the ball off the glass and get to the rim. Shaq could actually get offensive rebounds, get the ball, and then do something with it. Steve Nash was responsible. So I think Steve Nash accounted for almost 50% of their offense. That's nuts that's nuts to think about a guy who is that responsible for a team's offense. And Steve Nash with that on top of him. Can I get this with Trae?
Can we get the percentage of offense relied on with Trae? In that poverty offense,
there's a percentage for that?
I don't. Chill just gave me a percentage.
Points and assist totals. Yes, Trae Young is very high. He's like number 3 in the league.
I'm saying like in a poverty offense they got in Atlanta. I know Trae Young has to be. He has to be 50 plus.
He's way.
I'm assuming in terms of points generated. I'm assuming Trae Young's in the top 5 in the NBA.
I'm sure he is. I'm 100%. I'm 100% he is.
If that's how you're judging it, yeah.
Is Trae? Let's just talk about the point guards in the game today. Young, Luka, SGA, Jalen Brunson, Halliburton.
Is Steve Nash better than Brunson?
Halliburton.
You don't know how good I think Steve Nash is.
Yes, he is. He's better.
Why are you so low on Steve Nash, Ron? What did you do?
I'm low on the defense. First off, God.
Brunson.
Oh my God.
Brunson?
Brunson's a better defender than Steve Nash.
A much better defender than Steve Nash. Much better.
I would not argue that.
Sick people.
But Steve Nash, like Magic, like Joker, he was so exceptional on offense.
Brunson's exceptional on offense.
He wasn't Steve Nash on offense. No, he is not Steve Nash on offense. No, he is not. No, he is not Steve Nash on offense.
I'm saying
he didn't crack the long ball like Steve Nash. He didn't pass like Steve Nash. No, he does not crack the long ball like Steve Nash. He doesn't pass like Steve Nash. He gets to the rim. I won't argue that.
You think Jalen Brunson is clutch? You think
Jalen
Brunson is clutch? Have you seen Steve Nash in the clutch in the playoffs? You didn't watch. I forgot you didn't watch.
Ron,
one day I'm gonna say my true thoughts on Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, in the first round, second round,
first round, he was great.
Conference finals. He was good in the conference finals.
What round did he not play well in? Tell me
that. He was good in the conference finals. Steve
what
Nash.
Round did he not play well?
This clutch Steve Nash that you're speaking of?
In 06, he was good in the conference finals. Yeah. In 05,
that 1 year?
In 2010, he was good in the conference finals. He was good in the conference finals when he was there. How many times do you think Steve Nash went to the conference finals? When he was there, he played well. Do you think he just never made it there? In 05, he was there against the Spurs. You know who saw him? Sean Marion. In 06, he was there against the Mavs. He played well. In 2010, against Kobe and the Lakers, he played great. Like Steve Nash played well in the conference finals. I don't know what you thought he was getting off of that.
Yeah, Bryant was just
like
better.
what, Ron? What did you genuinely think he was getting off with Steve Nash in the conference finals?
I just don't. He said Steve Nash was clutch, so I'm saying how clutch was he in the conference finals?
He wasn't the reason they lost.
How clutch was he?
Better than Trae.
He was great. He wasn't the reason they lost. This is the thing.
You keep bringing up Trae Young like it's a jab or something. Look
I'm not bringing it up like it's a
units. Look at the units.
Trae Young not even close to Luka talks, let alone SGA.
Brunson
or Brunson. How many players can pass that Trae Young? How many players? Hallie. You don't even think he's better than Hallie.
It's Steve. What do you?
And that's nuts to think
you don't think
you are nuts.
I don't think he's better than Hallie.
Steve Nash.
Trae Young.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because
Ron, stop right there, Ron. Ron, stop right there.
Who's better, Trae? Who's better, Trae Young or Tyrese Halliburton?
Trae Young is better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay, all right, sure. You said that today.
That's been a thing. That's been a thing.
I mean, Ron's been
no, Mars, don't say him. Don't say him.
I've never. It's nothing to say. It's nothing to say. I've been saying Trae Young is the third or fourth best point guard in the NBA for the last 7 years.
Okay,
6-7 years, probably 6 years.
You think he's better than Brunson then?
Yes.
Yes. I know you don't believe that, but I know for the sake of PC content, you got to get it off. So, shout out to you, my brother.
All right, so I'm getting back to these super chats.
Please.
GameStop said, "What's up, panel? Can we show some love to Scoot Henderson? Since the start of the new year, his shooting efficiency is way up. That 3 looks nice."
Yeah, Scoot. I believe in you, brother.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Mars?
What was it the chat said?
Show love to Scoot Henderson.
Oh, yeah. The jump shot looks like it's coming around. Being more decisive with his decisions. Defensively, he's competing. I like it. Young guards figuring it out. Good to see.
SMN RNDM said, "Are y'all saying that the Mavs couldn't have done it with Luka? They are scary with AD, or they are scary with AD? Question mark. They were scary with Luka. In my opinion, they were going to win it with Luka.
No, they're better with Luka.
Not to Nico Harrison. He wasn't buying it.
Yeah, we do not agree with Nico. I don't agree with Nico. I'm speaking for myself.
They were scary with Luka for sure. The whole year when they were like the 6, 7, 8 seed, wherever, all year I was saying the Mavs are gonna figure it out. When they're gonna get healthy, they're gonna be fine. Because Dallas was like my number 2 team in the West. They probably still are. Maybe. But like, they're really good.
May I ask you a question, Ron? Chill and Mars. My co-host for Locked On NBA last night said, who covers the Cleveland Cavaliers, so bias. He said that it would be a bigger story for the NBA for LeBron to play versus Cleveland in the NBA Finals than it would be for the Lakers with LeBron and Luka to play versus the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals.
No, it would not.
Which side are you on?
Definitely the Celtics Lakers would be.
I don't know about definitely. It's close.
Lakers Celtics is probably a bigger story.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I see what he's saying though, because LeBron versus the Cavs would be crazy, and on top of that, the Cavs the best team in the NBA, best record, and all of that. It'd be big either way it goes.
We've seen guys. We 100%. And we've seen guys who played, played in the finals against their former teams, right? We've seen that.
Yeah,
before.
But chill, not like this though.
Yeah, but I mean, as good as James would be, and the fact that they haven't won the NBA championship or been back to the NBA championship since James has been there, yes, it will 100% be a big story. But Lakers Celtics is one of the biggest rivalries in sports. There aren't many rivalries bigger than that. Ohio State, Michigan,
North Carolina, Duke, apparently.
North Carolina, Duke. I mean, there aren't bigger sports rivalries. If the Lakers and the Celtics are in the NBA Finals, that's going to be must-see TV.
Yeah, I mean, I do got to go with the Lakers and Celtics, but I'm from Cleveland, raised in Cleveland,
Akron,
drafted to Cleveland, put this team on my back, left, came back, won the first championship in Cleveland, left again. They said Cleveland wasn't nothing without me. They said Cleveland would never be good without me, and all of a sudden, they win 60, 70 games, however many they win. They come through the East, beat the Celtics, make it to the finals.
Joe, who would you root for in that series? Cleveland or the Lakers? Evan Mobley, LeBron.
So the Cavs and the Lakers in the finals. Damn.
If Luka wins Finals MVP, is he in Best in the World conversations?
He's already in Best in the World conversations.
Is he the best in the world?
I think from some people's estimation.
Nah, for you.
I mean, I've already had this conversation. I don't think that he's better than Joker. I don't think that he's.
What if he outplays Jokic in a series and then wins the title? Is he the best player in the world?
Then we'd have to have a conversation. And based on not just what he did in the NBA Finals, it would be based on what he's done over the course of him getting to the NBA Finals, not just this season, what he's done in years past too, because I think that stuff matters. You just showing up to the NBA Finals and outplaying a guy does not automatically put you ahead of a guy. No,
so LeBron can't be the best player in the world?
Yes, he can still be the best player in the world. I mean, they were in the Western Conference Championship.
I just want to. Hey, LeBron, go win the Finals MVP.
They were in the Western Conference Championship just 2 years ago. That did go on, and they won the NBA championship
Steph
not too long ago.
Steph,
you the one who told me, and I believe in 22 that why wasn't he the best player in the world? Why wasn't he the best?
Based on the logic I was hearing,
he was definitely in the conversation. So. I mean, and I don't want to go on a tangent with this because we can make a whole show about this, Ron. I know we got super chats.
Lakers Celtics.
Hey, Ron, you've done a great job today, by the way, Ron. I just want to affirm you publicly. This is one of your best hosting jobs you've done so far. So
yeah, the panel job where you're saying Trae Young better than Steve Nash, we ignore that. But the hosting, you've been alright.
Yo,
I love Mom.
So I'm gonna get to this next.
I'm running a poll on Twitter right now. Steve Nash is winning overwhelmingly.
MP, because you hold on though. Like you gotta
see what you started, Mom.
Trae Young is disrespected. All right, and we
it's
just
93%.
I'm okay, but a lot of that is just Trae Young disrespect.
Hey, Mars, let me go to your Twitter. Let me retweet it. You know what I mean? Get some non-bias aura in here.
MP13 said Trae Young and Hadley wish they could perform like Steve Young in the playoffs. You were being real. Steve Nash wishes he could have did that.
So who did Steve Nash beat on the way to the conference finals show? Because I need to.
Which he is because he's gone there 4 times. But
yeah, so which
I think. And let's see in
the
05.
MVP. Go ahead.
Let's see in 05. I don't remember who they beat in 05. I know that they end up playing.
You should know this by heart. That's why I know you're not really your GOAT.
Oh yeah, Steve Nash, absolutely my GOAT. He's my in Dallas or just
in 05.
The Suns.
Yo, we got to get to these super chats.
No, we don't. They swept Pau Gasol.
You gonna ask that question and then leave?
We good. I'm still here.
Yep, they swept Pau Gasol. They beat the Mavs in the second round, and then they lost to the Spurs in the conference finals.
That was in 05.
And then 06, they beat the Lakers. 3-1 comeback
in the first round.
Then they beat the Clippers. They beat the Clippers and then lost to Dallas in the conference finals again. And then 2010, they beat the Blazers. They swept the Spurs, and then they lost to the Lakers. That
swept
was
the Spurs. Swept them.
That was their run.
Wasn't they in wasn't in the conference championship in 07 too?
No, they lost to the Spurs in round 2. Jazz.
I thought that was in the conference championship.
My
fault. That's right. They end up losing to Dallas. They end up beating Dallas in the conference championship. No, not in 07. That's not true.
They beat the Jazz.
The Jazz. I'm sorry,
because the Jazz got to play the Warriors in round 2 because the Mavs lost.
They were much bigger than them. Dallas was out in round 1. That was the year they won 67 games. Correct. I'm sorry, Ron. Go ahead.
Love Fadina said yesterday we seen a no call turn into a flagrant on a review. When was that?
What's he talking about?
Was that the Ant? That when Ant was pushed out the air?
No. I forgot. I'm looking right at it. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Someone was saying in the chat. Do you see Bron's chase down block?
Yes.
I don't even know why he even tried to lay that up.
I was watching that game. And like the moment the turnover happened, like I knew it was a chase down block. Like I knew.
First of all, jumped off the wrong leg and then just put it out there. I'm surprised.
Like you can see Chris Dunn was trying to get it up there before Bron could get to it. Like you could see he was trying to, but shout out to Bron.
I'm surprised Bronning smacked that shit in the third row. That
bullshit. He's be effective, man. Shout out to Bron.
Just 8 MMA said, does Cooper Flag help you win a playoff series more than LeBron James in the next 2 years?
We don't know what Cooper Flag gonna look like in 2 years. So
Bron doesn't regress. So I mean, Bron gonna be 49.
I'm gonna have to say Bron.
Bron gonna be 49 and be a top 10 player in the league. So
SMN RNDM said, I don't think people understand what type of season Jokic is having. Don't agree with SGA, but Jokic is having a top 3 to 5 season ever, maybe even the best.
Yeah, he gonna be better than Steve Nash first, but you know.
Black Medic Gaming became a YouTube member. Shout out to Black Medic Gaming. And iOS Inc. sent through a members chat. He's been a member for 29 months. Shout out to iOS Inc. iOS said, what would be the record and playoff ceiling of the Nico Harrison all fumble team? Players he traded or let walk away for nothing. Luka, Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Derrick Jones Jr., and Porzingis with Grimes as the sixth man.
That's a solid team.
That's a nice-ass team, boy.
I like that team in the West.
Can't you say the same thing about the Lakers with
Rick Carlisle coaching? I like that team. Man.
Can't we say the same? So Brook Lopez, Julius Randle, Brandon Jent, the Lakers.
This is the Lakers team. Their fumble team. Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, the team's cooked already. You said Julius Randle. They're losing in 3.
Nice.
It's not even close.
Alex Caruso, KCP.
Yes.
They got nice role players. They don't have no Luka and Jalen Brunson. What they got who? Brandon Ingram. No disrespect, but let's be serious.
Teflon Gunsmoke said, Mars, the conversation is credit for the player. It's not really for you, Mars.
You can credit the player and acknowledge how good of a season they are without putting them in a conversation that's not relevant to them. We can credit LeBron on what he's doing without saying, oh, MVP conversation, just to waste time away from the actual conversation. Why not just have all NBA first team conversation? That's a conversation LeBron's actually in. That's cool. The MVP conversation should be for people who can win the MVP. Like, I don't need to just bring you up for the sake of bringing you up in that conversation. Not all conversations pertain to you. Sometimes just stay out of it. Like, that's what it is. You don't need to be involved in every conversation because you're playing well. That's literally what I'm saying.
Fint Jones said, chill. The Wizards are that chick you put in the pumps, makeup, and a sundress, and kids cry and run away at the park.
And the Charlotte Hornets are the same chick, and that dress is too small. Them shoes are whack as hell, and they too big. And she stink.
Damn, she stink too.
She smells.
9-7 till infinity said, can we end the conversations?
Nah, because apparently Ray Allen in the conversation for the best shooter ever, but he no better than Steph Curry.
We just want to have a conversation. Please crack the door. We just want to talk. Nate sent through a member chat.
Can you make chill debate Ray Allen versus Steph Curry shooting in the PCL since he's in the conversation? Can you give chill Ray Allen and give someone else a conversation
about it?
Yeah, let him have the conversation.
If he runs into you, we could do that.
Yeah, let him have the conversation. Yeah.
Speaking of the PCL, the bracket is complete. Woo! I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait to reveal this. But in the meantime, Nate sent through a member's chat. He's been a member for 25 months. He said, mentioning D. Mitch and Triple J in the MVP convo is like mentioning Ryan Bailey during the Olympic 100-meter dash. Like, congratulations, you made it to the finals, but you were closer to 7th place than to Usain Bolt.
Like, that's literally it. Like, if we're discussing the fastest sprinter in the world, credit to all the guys who are running sub 9.8s. Credit to them. But at the end of the day, Usain Bolt is faster than you. Like, I don't need to just bring you up for the sake of it. We're discussing the greatest swimmers. Shout out to everyone who was second place to Michael Phelps. But I don't need to bring you up just for the sake of bringing you up. Like, we're just wasting everyone's time when we know the answer. That's all it is. I don't get how this is such a foreign concept. It just makes sense.
Shout out to the conversations. Cool Joe said, shout out to J-Dub for the 41 burger. Shea 3-point shooting is improving. Check mark. Also, I agree with Swipa. OKC defense has been middle of the pack the last 10 games.
What do you agree with Swipa about? What did he say?
He just agrees with Swipa. Fint Jones said, I wanted to choke J.R. Smith out when he was learning to be a shooter in Denver.
Hey, man, confidence is key when it comes to being a shooter.
Naptown said Tank lost.
Boxing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Ended up getting a draw, but the consensus, I didn't watch the fight.
Shout out Roach. Shout out Lamar Roach. That boy was boxing. Made a name for himself. D3 said, with the Lakers being the number 2 seed, can we have LeBron James MVP talks?
He's going to be in it.
Let's do it, baby. Let's have the conversations. Hey,
guarantee he gets 0 first place votes. Guarantee it.
That's why we here. Let's have a good old conversation. Rick Williams said, OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. KR said Golden State Warriors traded traded 2 top 5 Luka stoppers, Wiggins and Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
Shout out Wiggs and Kyle.
Should have got Ben Simmons. Number 1 Luka stop. But you know.
Ray Star said the Nuggets schedule about to get real spooky. It's about to get
They're not
scary
a real
for them.
team. I don't know their schedule, but they're not a real team. They're not a contender. Not to me anyway.
Love for Dina said, I keep thinking dude is Austin Rivers. Austin Daye, not Rivers. Shout out to Austin. Appreciate you for pulling up. UMB said thoughts on the post-trade Bucks. They're selling.
Losing to whichever one of Cleveland or Boston they see. But their defense looks interesting. Their defense looks interesting. Offensively, I don't like it, but their defense looks good, which is nice.
I think they're
I don't know if I'm giving that more credit to Kyle Kuzma or the fact that just Bobby Portis is no longer playing, but their defense looks nice.
I think we're better on defense and offense. I think we're a better overall team. And once again, I said this before and I'm going to say it again. The Cavs don't want it with us. They just don't.
I really like the Cavs in that matchup. Like, I really like the Cavs.
All right. Hey,
Ron, I think they handle y'all in 6 games.
Yeah, I really like the Cavs.
It's gonna be a hard ass 6 games. Ray Starr said Kevin Durant is really about to miss the playoffs.
Yes, he is. For the first time KD will miss the playoffs since his 2nd season.
Not due to injury.
2015, I guess, but he was hurt that year.
Yeah,
And
not due to injury. Not due
first
to
time
injury.
since 2009, I think it was.
Not due to
I'm
injury.
telling y'all, KD can't wait to get the hell out of Phoenix.
Welcome home, KD. Houston will love to have you.
Void Century said Braun cost me $730 last night on PrizePicks. 10 effing rebounds.
How many did he have?
9.
Oh, damn.
I think he was 17, 9, and 17, 7, and 9.
Missing out on that type of bread for 1 rebound, I'd be mad as hell.
Yeah, I feel for you, my man.
That's why we took the Goblins today, right?
Yeah.
If the Goblins don't hit, I'm gonna be so
it's gonna be so discouraging. Mike Valley Production said tides are turning where JB will lead the Celtics.
JB who?
Jaylen Brown.
Shout out to Jaylen Brown.
He already did it last year. I expect him to do it again.
I think Al Horford's their leader, but you know.
Itzhak Ira said, still can't believe the Lakers got gifted Luka. Crazy. Shout out the Lakers, man. MP13 said Boston isolation possessions look so bad.
Late in the game, they couldn't score. It got a little tricky. It did, but for a while it was good. They were going after Jamal Murray. They were going after Joker. And it was good.
Last but not least, LaFlame said, what are y'all doing for Tatum's birthday?
What we doing right now? We on the show.
We potting, man. That's what we do, man. We be potting, man.
Turning up for Tatum's birthday tonight. 27 shots. All right, y'all. It was a good show. Who plays tonight?
Warriors and OKC. I'm not Warriors. Rockets and OKC.
Yeah. Rockets, OKC. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about our power rankings and everything else that happens in the next 24 hours. Until then, y'all be smooth and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Like the video.
Merry Christmas.
Later. Out.